Welcome back to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. My name is Bahamut, joined by McIntyre and Grubby, and we're finally back. We're finally here into our playoff week and our double elimination bracket. We had a little bit of time off for the U.S. holiday, 4th of July, and for Master Clash the past weekend. Congratulations to our Master Clash competitors. Don't want to spoil anything in case anyone's trying to catch up on the VODs, but either way, congratulations to Master Clash for running an amazing event, as well as to all the participants as well. It was really fun for me to watch. Did have to wake up a little too early, but it's fine. It's fine. It's Here's the Storm. It's worthwhile. And I know we're all excited. We're ready to go into this. And I got to check in with both of you. Grubby, how are you doing? You staying safe and staying dry?
Yeah, luckily staying dry. What's up, guys? It's good to be back with both of you, McIntyre and Bahamut. We have had a bit of a calamity in Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands. The southern countries were hit worse with unexpected floods due to heavy rain. The rivers expanded their banks and some lives were lost as well. So my thoughts are with them, and that's terrible. There was a potential threat to our area as well, and we had evacuation advice even, but it didn't end up being as bad in this particular area. So personally, a relief, but thoughts are with those that aren't. We're fine though. Wasn't sure I was going to be able to make tonight's broadcast either, but glad that it's safe now, it's stabilized, touch wood, fingers crossed, and we're ready here to enjoy some HoTS and CCL.
We're glad to have you and glad to know that you're safe. And yes, our thoughts go out to all of those who are dealing with that catastrophic just flooding right now. And we hope that that subsides and it's all going to go away and we can all just move on. But let's talk about, let's talk about prize pool, McIntyre, because it's been a little bit since we've been here. It's looking pretty big right now, Mac, huh? Like it's a pretty big prize pool as we've been away for 2 weeks.
The prize pool has grown, especially since I've been here, right? $15,555.69. I mean, the amount of support that you guys have shown with this prize pool is insane. These players, the production crew, everyone on the CCL side, I mean, just continues to grow, continues to push harder on all of the content that we're putting out for you guys, the play that these players are giving us. It's insane to see how much you guys still care about Heroes with the support that you've shown.
We really do appreciate the support. And just a really quick breakdown, 60% of that will go to the players, as you can see, even that further breakdown of that 60% on the bottom left of your screen, and 40% will come back to Wisdom to be able to supply production costs as well as create amazing transitional videos for you all. So it's really exciting. And that's the one I was waiting for. I was waiting for them to use it. It's my favorite one. But thank you all for supporting HeroesCCL. We really, really do appreciate it. It's so exciting to just be a part of such a large event for Heroes of the Storm and to keep this amazing esport alive and to be able to commentate it with you amazing gentlemen as well throughout these weekends. So I'm excited about it. We have so much good action this weekend for you all, but I think we need to still catch people up on what's been happening in the past couple weeks, because it's been 2 weeks here, Grubby, and could you maybe catch everyone up what happened here on this ladder bracket playoff that we're looking at?
Yeah, we had the rank 7 and 8 team from the regulation bracket, from the regulation group stage, going up against one another in a best-of-5 knockout. Granite Gaming was able to triumph over Diamond Hands with a 3-1 victory. They then met their match in Wildheart Esports, our 6th ranked team, who didn't manage to take it all the way and do the Cinderella story that Simplicity was able to do in Season 1. They fell 0-3 against Chili Mountain, who did manage to get back-to-back victories with a thrilling 3-2 victory 3 weekends ago by now, against Oxygen with a 3-2. That cements Chili Mountain into our top 4, and that is the story of today, tomorrow, and next Saturday, the 3 days that comprise the playoffs with these 4 teams in double elimination brackets.
You perfectly laid that out, Grubby, and I think we can take a look at that double elimination bracket and talk about the matches that are going to be unfolding here. And McIntyre, as we see this, what are your expectations, thoughts, and maybe even prediction at who ends up at that final best-of-7 grand finals?
Yeah, so showcasing these matches, right? Simplicity Chili Mountain will be the first match that we see today. I think this match is going to be incredibly exciting if you're looking forward to the macro play. I think both of these teams play the map. They play for those globals. They play to push you around and make you move where they want you to be. And we'll see when both of them collide who kind of takes the victory there. That's seed number 1 and seed number 4, Chili Mountain. Storm in 30K, seed number 3 and seed number 4. I think both of these teams are the team fight teams, right? This is going to be the serious clash series of today. I think they both draft very synergistic compositions. They look to, VP into APOC, things like that, Stukov, Roots with a Mayev. These are the comps that we kind of see out of these teams, and we'll see, when they hit each other super hard, who's going to come out on top. Really looking forward to both of these series.
It's a very exciting matchups today, and we were talking about this before the broadcast started about how we would have these macro teams versus each other and these micro teams, and there's still both of those factors within each of these two best of fives, but it's just the sets of teams kind of lean into the same play style, which is going to be very fun to watch. Before we watch, though, these games, we got to talk about one more thing. Actually, two more things for all of you at home. We have CCL merch. Exclamation point merch will get you over to the CCL merch for Season 2, and 60% of our proceeds will go into the prize pool as well. So not only can you get yourself an amazing t-shirt, but you can also get a little money into that prize pool, and as I said, get yourself some amazing stuff. I'm waiting for mine. It was supposed to arrive last night, but the husky dogs in the summer, it's a little hard to get the sled across pavement, so it's a little hard up here to get some of my deliveries in the summer, but maybe I'll find that soon. Either way, one more thing to talk about before we get into these games. It's going to be PSD. CCL is proud to be sponsored by PSD Underwear. You can find the best skins for your IRL underwear game at PSD and get 20% off your order with our own special promo code WISDOM, WISDOM. Use exclamation point PSD in chat to get all the details to the Wisdom curated collection, which I've been informed has been updated with a few extra styles. So many styles that McIntyre actually cannot decide on which one to wear today.
Yep. Twitch chat, I need your help. Today was I love wearing my PSD underwear. They support me so well through the CCL days, but today I wasn't able to pick one. So I have a few pairs that I'd like to show to you guys in the Twitch chat. You guys are going to vote on these pairs. The first pair being the pizzas.
Done.
Underwear.
Easy. That's it.
This is Baha's pair for sure. Loves having pizza after the show. The checkerboard finish. It's a classic. The second, for all those anime fans out there, we got the Narutos. Looking nice. Looking clean. Black and red. I know this color profile. A lot of people are into it. Carolina Hurricanes, black and red, definitely there. Option number 3 for the simpler colors. It's not bad to have just a nice black pair of underwear with a blue band, nice and, as you can see, stretchy, supportive. Pair number 4. This is the spiciest pair in my opinion, probably my favorite actually of the 4, but just I couldn't wear them today. Blue and white polka dots. How could you go wrong with a pair of polka dotted underwear? You really can't. But that's not up for me to decide. That is up for you guys in the Twitch chat to decide. Please help me figure out which pair I should wear for the CCL finals. I may or may not have a pair on today because I couldn't choose one. So that's for me to know, for you to not find out, hopefully. So please let me know in the Twitch chat. Should we go with the pizzas? Should we go with the Narutos? Should we go with the simple black? Blue and white polka dot. Let me know. That's it for PSD. Thank you.
When you said spicy, I was expecting to see the Tapatio underwear or something like that, the Cholula ones. I was waiting for it, but then you come out with this polka dot, and I'm like, that's nice and spicy, but still a little classy at the same time. We've talked about underwear, we've talked about prize pool, we've talked about merch. Do you know what we haven't talked about, Grubby?
Many things.
We haven't talked about the rosters. Let's go ahead and get into the rosters. We have
just had like here a glimpse of every topic in the world that we didn't talk about yet.
You had the Doctor Strange moment where you saw every possibility in the universe. But please, let's talk about Simplicity roster here. What's your excitement for the Simplicity roster up against Chile Mountain?
Dude, this roster is pretty insane. Could barely find any fault with this roster. When you see Cure play Zeratul, it looks like tier SSS. You see other people play Zeratul, even in the CCL, even with the skill level that has been shown here, not as scary. It's really a Cure thing, and he plays other things, Malthael, etc. Leap, Sonya. Masquerade's tanking, Legacy's healing. I mean, this team is insane. And I would say they're the most likely favorite for the title. And that also brings excitement because the other teams are so good. and are going to have been studying them in drafts and in play as well.
I was studying the pickups for Simplicity in the May, Greymane, Chromie, Stukov, and Brightwing, and between those 5 heroes, there's a total of 9 map losses, though there's like 7 wins for just about every single one of them. So there's a lot of strong heroes that you were already mentioning, but I was looking at my stats earlier, and it's just like everything is just over 60% win rate for Simplicity, as they've had a dominant season so far in HeroesCCL Season 2. Though on the other side of the battlefield, McIntyre, let's talk about this Chili Mountain crew. What are your expectations, thoughts, or maybe even excitement coming out from this roster?
Yeah, I think the really cool thing about Chili Mountain is just their growth that they've seen over the course of the season. Cattle coming in as that main tank has really kind of, I think, strengthened their synergy as a team. Make on that ranged flex role, and of course Azurite, number 1 player, EU in a pretty much the best, if not one of the best ranged assassins in the game. I mean, this team has really come together and grown together. They were focused on the synergy that they had personality-wise, and I think it's really paid off for them to see that naturally from a struggling roster at the beginning of the season to now somebody that could win it all here in CCL.
The big factor for me is Cattle and Make. They're able to play off each other so well whenever we jump into comms. Make is always kind of that hype man, really kind of just shouting out anything that he can play for. And you have Cattle's just knowledge, his history in Heroes of Storm, as well as just the due diligence in what he's able to decide in those critical moments, and he can play off of Make so very well. I love that synergy for Chili Mountain. And they said in their winning interview up against Oxygen, they believe that they can beat any team in HeroesCCL on a good weekend. And we'll have to find out, is this going to be that weekend? We'll have to see. Let's find out, though, McIntyre, where we're going to for map number 1, because here's a crazy thing. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. I was making notes about this just as we were about to go live. The members of Simplicity opted for first pick priority as they are the higher seeded team, which means Chili Mountain has map pick priority. Dragonshire and Infernal Shrines were banned out. Dragonshire from Chili Mountain, as always, but Simplicity actually got rid of Infernal Shrines, which is a very good map for Chili Mountain. 50-50 for the side of Simplicity. But here's the thing. We're going to Battlefield. Simplicity has banned out Battlefield every single weekend.
Until now. And Chili Mountain has the prowess. They've studied. They know that they've never seen them play the map, so they're taking them there as the first game of the series. I think it's a really powerful move to kind of put them on their feet and say, hey, can you play this map, right? I think Simplicity not banning it kind of says that they can, or at least they're preparing to. But I think this is a really smart choice from Chili Mountain. Just taking us to it. Let's see. This is the team fight map, right? The 2-lane. Not that there's no objectives outside of the objective of the map. You can't do the boss. You can't steal the hard camp. You're really fighting over those immortals and trying to win there in the middle of the map, controlling and establishing the vision of the middle of the map and maybe your immortal or the enemies. So really excited for this. We'll see how the draft starts up here. Simplicity gonna be the first to ban.
I heard you, Grubby, kind of lamenting already at the map pick. So thoughts from you as well?
No, I'm just thinking, like, let's say you're doing a dance-off against someone and they've never shown you salsa dancing. They're just not gonna participate in any salsa dancing for like a whole season. Then at the end, at the finals, they put their name down for the salsa dance list, and you're like, am I gonna do a dance-off against them? Wouldn't you be worried that they've been practicing it in secret and they got the moves?
That is actually one of the things that I was thinking about as well. Was this a great bait from the side of Simplicity to pull Chili Mountain to a map that they're very comfortable on, feigning in the sense that they're like, oh no, we're scared of this map. Though I'm trying to remember back to our Icebreaker tournament, and if I'm not mistaken, this might have been one of the maps where Chili Mountain beat Simplicity. Granted, Chili Mountain beat Simplicity 3-0, or I think it was 2-0 actually, because it was a best of threes for that one, for the Icebreaker tournament. So Chili Mountain's riding that high. They actually mentioned it in the winning interview against Oxygen. They were like, we beat Simplicity in the Icebreaker, and I think that's a little bit of what's giving them the momentum going into this Battlefield of Eternity map. But we have some bans coming through, but an immediate pick on Davala, Stukov Cassia for the side of Chili Mountain. Grubby, I got to get your thoughts on what's unfolding, what's expanding in front of our eyes.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. We are now a few weeks again without CCL, and so we're building our meta off of some other tourneys or Storm League. And is Vala good? Is Stitches good? Are they counter-draftable? Cassia is like the counter to Vala, and there's several counters tried against Stitches. So we'll see whether the Cassia one works. Stitches, Simplicity is not going to work with that. On our final day of the CCL playoffs of the knockout phase, Stitches was winning every game, whichever team was playing it. He was banned for the rest, so that makes sense. But we get that Vala, still good. Is it going to be the multi-shot? Is it going to be the Hungering Arrow? I think it'll be Hungering Arrow. And then Cassia has long been that counter into Cassia, into Vala. More tanky than Vala by a large margin. Not quite as much burst, but a great team fight. And Azerite, he's so scary on that hero.
Azerite's had some amazing weekends. I also was just looking at my notes. Stukov is actually one of the most winning supports for the side of Chili Mountain in 2-10 in their record on that hero. So a nice priority onto that for Banana.
2-10?
2-10. Sorry, I said that backwards. 10 wins, 2 losses.
10 and 2? Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
Nice.
Sorry, my bad.
That is really good. That is super good.
Yeah.
Stukov does
so
win,
good.
though, right? That is one of his rules. And he's back and he's had a few changes as well. A few of his talents, I think, I want to say it's the 16 and the 4 talent have some synergy pops. Maybe you can pop and then repop again your D twice. So there's a lot more sustained healing coming out of Stukov now. I think they've increased his overall healing numbers. So we're probably going to see him even more. I think an interesting thing there is that Simplicity's wanted to go the double support. They've taken the Vala, but because Stukov is picked and Lucio and Malfurion are banned from the side of Chili Mountain, who do you take as a support now for Simplicity, right? Even the Zarya pick would have been great for Simplicity's side. Do they protect their Vala and they choose not to, instead just going double pressure on that range, picking up that Sergeant Hammer? The Anduin is a great pick to just pull someone out if the Grosh throws them in. It's maybe, this double sanctification field's kind of happening here, possibly. Maybe not, but Light Bomb is probably going to be the choice, but there is some protection there from the Tyrael, from the Urel to peel for both of these ranged assassin. And it is going to be that Mathiel last pick from Chili Mountain. Percent heals or percent damage for that Immortal is really good. Great wave clear, very safe character. Not really sure if I'm super into it. I assume that they're going to go the E at level 4 for that increased range, put their mark onto the Sergeant Hammer, maybe even range on W. That way they can get to the back line if the E connects onto the hammer and then start to cause chaos that way. I think both of these comps are super sick for the map. I mean, I think the interesting thing when we were talking about the map bans is BOE, while the salsa dance may be that, neither of these teams have really shown they can salsa dance that well, right? They like to play the macros. They like to play the map, and BOE is one of those maps where we're breakdancing here, right? Really getting into the action and taking it to the other team there in the middle, literally circled around one or two people as they dance between both Immortals. But I'm excited to see this game. I mean, we'll see. I think that Chili Mountain really punished the side of Simplicity's draft with that first pick Vala because they banned the Lucio early. They picked up that Stukov. There's no trade when it comes to those two supports. And then the target ban on the Malfurion because no support was picked in the 2-3 there for Simplicity, I think has put them on the back foot in this draft. For that reason, Chili Mountain, Azerite's on Cassia. What more can we really say? I think they're going to take over this game here in game number 1, just on the back foot of that. And I mean, as you said, Baha, 10-2 on Stukov. I mean, how can you beat that, right? I mean, those are pretty good odds.
I wrote down a Chili Mountain win, and McIntyre, thank you as always for your breakdown, analysis, and knowledge of Heroes of Storm as we are loaded into map number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. Mac, we'll see you after the game. Thank you as always for all of your information. But here we go. We are into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the HeroesCCL Season 2 playoff bracket, our double elimination bracket. We got Simplicity in the blue on the left, Kira on the Urel, Legacy on the Anduin, Lutano on the Sergeant Hammer, Masquerade on the Tyrael, and Hosty playing Vala. Over in the red, we got our Chili Mountain crew, Make on the Zarya, Azerite on the Cassia, Burgolt on the Malthiel, Cattle on the Garrosh, and Banana playing Stukov. I'm leaning into the Chili Mountain win, Grubby, because I just really like just how much control that I feel like they can bring to the table, but also aggressiveness as well. What are your thoughts getting into this Battlefield of Eternity map?
I really love the Cassia Stukov double power pick. I think Garrosh and Zarya are fantastic together, but I don't think this is the best team necessarily to Garrosh Zarya into, with Tyrael being able to teleport home, Yarel being nigh unkillable, Anduin having a yoink, Hammer having a pushback and a cleanse for herself at 4, and Vala being quite fast in general. Then I think the pick I like the least is Malthael here. I must admit I don't totally get it. I feel like it's very one-on-one lane focused in a matchup where we can already see the simplicity is not one-on-oneing. Top.
Sorry, I saw the collapse onto Kieran and I couldn't see the health bars, and I was like, is Chili Mountain losing the collapse? And kind of, sort of, yeah, Azerite not winning out. And I agree with you, Grubby. I kind of feel a little iffy about the Malthael. I feel like it's maybe just to kind of chunk into the Yarel and force her back a little bit. Maybe it's that factor. I don't know. Sorry to cut you off.
It's for the one-on-one. No, 100%. I wanted to see what was happening too. They do get the Yarel kill there. First blood by Chili Mountain, keeping in mind that Garrosh Zarya is so good early game. It's so good at level 4 when you get speed barrier for Garrosh's. Wait a second, Zarya goes down in the 2v1, courtesy of Legacy and Hosty. Nice kill for them.
A little bit of that hungering arrow value bouncing around, and it was a very low Zarya bottom lane. She might have not played the shielding very well with the self-barrier. Did pick up a few stacks on that Demolitions Expert at level 1, 7 out of 40 on that one, as Masquerade is going to anchor up here. Cattle just threatening with his body. Okay, no, Cattle's stepping in because the friendly team is rotating in, and this is looking like a great camp invade in favor for the side of Chili Mountain. Though Kira's coming in, Burgult's going to be here as well. Burgult looking for the flank position but needs to play the safe, and Chili Mountain has forced their way into the bottom lane camp and has managed to actually get top lane camp as well. This has been map control from Chili Mountain so far on Battlefield. As McIntyre had said, both these teams playing the macro very well, but right now, Chili Mountain a little bit ahead in their rotations as well as just their camp read and aggressiveness.
Here's the speed barrier now for Zarya, able to get Garrosh up close with people. 50% movement speed is just insane. It means he can get the jump on a Vala, and we saw before this being used in the CCL, you don't just have to cast it on an unmounted Garrosh. You can cast it on a mounted Garrosh. He gets the 50% movement speed for a 150% total, and then he transitions, if not dismounted yet, to
130.
Yeah, he transitions, if he's not dismounted yet, to 130 at the end of it. So it's a lot of travel distance being made up, and it's a strong early game comp. Malthael will struggle to get last right kills into a low max health target team that also relies a lot on shields, but still good pressure into Yarel. And yeah, Chili Mountain is running away with the early game so far. They're racing better, they've got camp pressure, they've got just a really good situation going here.
Bottom lane, there's going to be a Hammer potential dive. I was just looking at her in lane as she was pushing up the camp, but Garrosh Cattle was stepping forward onto Lutano. I thought the tank might be thrown, but it's going to be that level 4 siege tactics from this Sergeant Hammer. As you mentioned, Grubby, Sergeant Hammer has a self-cleanse at level 4. You're able to utilize the Neo Steel plating. Hold on, Hosty getting thrown around. Leap of Faith. There's a lot of just bouncing around right now. Either way, once you use your Neo Steel plating in siege mode, you grant unstoppable for 2 seconds. That might have stopped it, but Lutano's going to get shredded right now. It doesn't matter. You can't cleanse while you're walking away. It doesn't give you any health. And another kill over to Chili Mountain. 1 to 2 in kills in favor of this red team, as Garrosh is going to zone, gets a little speed barrier, and it looks like the first half of the Immortal phase goes over to the side of Chili Mountain, moving into race potential sides. I expect Chili Mountain to take the entirety of this Immortal race.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, Cure on Yarel didn't even do a little bit of race damage, even though he kind of had control of the top lane. He favored experience acquisition instead, and we do see a good amount of damage being put on by Simplicity on the Immortal. This is a 55% shield Immortal or so. Level 7 will be given due to the loser's reward of experience gain from the objective finishing, and Simplicity should be alright with defense. Bonus points for Chili Mountain can be gained here if they block the hungering arrows from Hosty. That's gonna save a lot of damage on their Immortal. It would give quest stacks. There's hungering arrow already And I think Azurite blocked one of them, so that's less damage on the Immortal.
Yeah, he did block when I was looking at the stacks. It was 12 and jumped up to 13 as you were just mentioning that. But there's going to be a Righteous Hammer onto Banana, who's a little out of position. But Cure is the one out of position being thrown around. Amazing Groundbreaker, but the Leap of Faith is going to be utilized to save Cure. No's Leap of Faith would have meant Cure got bursted down. Not the case. Belith in bottom lane pushing in, gets the fort front gate, and it's going to be just about it. Hosty trying to get a few more stacks on that Hungering Arrow as the Chastise will connect from this Anduin, and it's going to be a clean disengage from Chili Mountain, and you will see those siege tactics for the the hover siege mode, so she's able to move in. But speaking of moving in, there's going to be a toss. Oh, it was attempted onto Lutano here, and it's not going to connect. Grubby, this bottom lane engagement should have been disengaged, but it keeps going on and on.
Yeah, with Zarya, they want to keep putting on pressure. They keep getting that Stukov physical armor, the sustained healing, the bonus buffer from the shield. This seems like a very greedy play. Even as Malthael Bergholt is running top, Yrel is coming here. Cure is impending, but it's Chili Mountain that will retain control of this camp. They took it fast enough, showing the difference between kind of thinking about something and just doing it. Wait a little longer, Cure comes in, could be a problem. But he's been forced to rotate back up. Nothing to show for his efforts.
What I love about the composition from Chili Mountain is that, yes, we talked about the self-cleanse at level 4 from Lutano, but it's being forced out consistently. Cattle gets a speed barrier, Lutano pops the ability. And that cooldown, it's not the longest, it's not the shortest in the world. I'm just gonna look at it really
16.
quickly. 16 seconds, yeah. I was like, I know it's over 12 seconds, whereas Garrosh gets these speed barriers and the ability to throw, I think, a little bit shorter than that. So it's just, you have this constant threat from Garrosh, which I'm really liking, that pulls out this ability used from Lutano and makes Lutano have to back off. Good aggressiveness from the side of Chili Mountain. But we get into our next Immortal phase here with 10 talent here in favor for Chili Mountain. Grubby, do you want to jump into comms, or is it a little too early? Like, I'm just excited.
No, let's do it. I mean, we're reintroduced into the season of CCL, and we haven't heard the players in a while. Let's hear how they're getting on. Perhaps when the Immortals high five in mid-air and level 10 is reached for simplicity, let's jump into one of the teams. All
right, we're going to head into Chili Mountain comms right now. Let's get into it.
Do it slowly.
I'm clearing top way, it's okay.
Yeah, we clear top way. We can have... I have speed as well. We can do our hard camp. We can do our hard camp now.
Eating good.
They're on a position here though. With
it's fine.
Yeah, I'm with Cattle. I'm with Cattle.
They don't have lights.
It's Anduin sync.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have napalm as well.
Come on, with you
Just
guys.
showing bottom.
I need some energy.
I wanna go in there and get some.
Yeah.
We're coming now.
I'm gonna play bot.
Oh, I might
We don't have Zarya, but I can throw you out.
I'm gonna tap. They use strafe.
We need to chill a bit. We need to chill a bit.
I'm gonna tap.
We can tap.
Top is clashing. Their top fort is gonna die. They're racing a bit now though. I'm gonna...
Let's go. Just careful.
I should do.
Okay, it's gonna be kind of hard to get in here.
Yeah, I think you maybe look for a flank on Cattle. We heal up one.
I have toss on 5.
Yeah.
Okay, we're pushing her out.
I kinda wanna run bot if they're getting.
No, I don't think we can. Yet.
I think they're running out.
Okay. I think there's...
I'm with you though.
Material speed makes it bad.
Yeah,
I
I
try to
have...
throw your L maybe.
Yeah, I think we look for Yrel maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe.
What's
I
that?
push him in. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Thanks.
There's
They
one
have
out, 3 out this, 3
They
out
have
this.
no ult. They have no ult.
I have speed on you, Cattle maybe? Maybe Vala?
I'm on the Vala. Yep. I have toss now.
Nothing for you, Assi, nothing for you, Assi. Shield in 5, shield in 5.
Their
Start top.
top is pushing as well.
Yeah. We can shield, we're in, I have shield now.
They have no defensive ultis, like we keep.
I shield you, baby. Oh, it's fine. I don't have shield, Assi.
We're losing.
I am... Yeah, it's fine. No energy.
Top is really pushing stuff. Oh, here maybe Husky.
Yeah.
Got a Vala.
I'm shielding you, Cattle.
Vala's one.
Vala.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Vala.
Throwing spear.
We race.
I'm coming with you, Assi. Shield in 5.
Can we pressure the top cap too? Top.
It was so hard to find a point to want to leave those comms, Grubby, but it was really, really cool information to see what they were discussing when it came to heroics, cooldowns, aggressiveness, what are the defensive tools, how are we going to push out Hammer, liking the way that Chili Mountain is vibing today, Grubby.
Yeah, same here. Great energy there, great communication, cooldown callouts, and it was all enough for them to nab a narrow victory over this Immortal phase. About 80% damage done by Simplicity, 100% by Chili Mountain. They're going to get a 20% shield. They're now pushing in as 5. 5 fingers to a fist. They want to punch a hole in the defenses of Simplicity. They're moving on this keep. Simplicity will scramble to defend it with their Tyrael bonus movement speed, attack speed on the Sergeant Hammer. Gonna try to shell away from afar. Hosty is stacking phenomenally. 31 stacks. Is it going to be enough though against the death ball of Chili Mountain?
Yrel Kira is setting up just above the Banana right now, looking for a flank priority or positioning, and will come in right now. Gets a massive Righteous Hammer into the enemy side. Tyrael comes in with the Alduran's Might, but decides not to trigger that. Doesn't have level 13, so no holy ground, and keep front gate will fall through bottom lane. Do want to point out one thing that we heard in the comms as well. Top lane fort will go down. I believe Burgolt was calling to say, I want to clear bottom, but no, we need to stay here. and so it was one of those things where it was traded forts through top and bottom, but still Immortal phase went over by the side of Chili Mountain, and Chili Mountain found that kill just as we jumped out of comms, but also continues to hold a solid level lead over Simplicity, and making Simplicity play a little further back, turtled up, if you will.
Yeah. That's true. They have to play further back because you could see that there was a desire for Simplicity to make a quick rotation top to try and make themselves strong. 5 versus 1. Hero, can he get away? He does have Ardent Defender, keep in mind.
Oh!
Juked!
I guess, yeah.
The simplest of jukes. Tend to walk into the bush and then go back. You're now using Cattle's 16-second Wrecking Ball engage to actually get in the middle of the team. Good job by Simplicity. They had to give up on that top solo lane gang to go back bot to defend the Khazra, but they have. They've survived perhaps the hardest phase in the game, and they are scaling. Let's see what they are scaling towards. We have Spell Armor for Vala. We have Hammer going with the hypercooling engines. More thrusters.
Good Righteous Hammer from Yrel. Dive as well. Expulsion Zone's going to be there, but it's defensive to make sure that Cattle's able to back away as our Immortal phase spawns in the east-west positioning on the map. This is going to be race potential sides as well. That's why you're seeing the assist pings on your screen right there on the right-hand side. And the axes will be blue. The axes are the race side for our blue team. If you're ever wondering what the mini-map is showing, naturally it's always for the blue side. So axes, race potential for Simplicity. And this is going to be 50%, but who's on top, Grubby?
Blue. By a little bit. Simplicity has the just slightly faster race. And it's Chili Mountain that jumps in. They actually get a Vala. Panic Sanctification. It was fine. Legacy already had the Leap of Faith. Masquerade uses an important cooldown as it wasn't clear. They all were so worried about Hosty getting thrown in like that. Nice catch by Chili Mountain as Zarya with the unstoppable Make presents himself as a target. This is actually so close! 198! Simplicity wins the race by just a small margin.
There was that expulsion zone from Zarya to try and force back Lutano on the Sergeant Hammer, and it did work a little bit, but unfortunately, Sergeant Hammer wasn't the only thing hitting the Immortal. You still had Vala dumping in damage with her double hungering arrow. I was trying to look really quickly and see how much damage she's doing. 238 on the scaling, and then baseline 243. That's somewhere in the nearly 500 damage range. We're going to round up on that one for simple caster math, but it's looking good for the side of Simplicity, though I say that, and all that was gained through that Immortal phase was a fort front gate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good deny, right? Simplicity wants to get to the longer and longer game as Vala picks up Manticore at 16. If he goes for it, for bonus damage dumping on Garrosh. Big taunt play there on Tyrael. That's an early first rights. It's last rights, but kind of first rights when it's the initial damage. He was healthy and he got yoinked out. Sanctification is back, as is Holy Ward Salvation.
Cure does have the Ardent Defender on your Rel, and Cure is very far forward in bottom lane. Will they get the Hearth? Will Azerite get the Interrupt? It's actually canceled. Azerite will scout this out. Cure is going to try and back away. There is no... Yeah, he just stood still. Like, literally, I looked at the minimap. I was like, I wonder, are the friendly members of Simplicity rotating in? No. They're clearing top lane, getting 16.
Standing still for Cure is a testimony to him just wanting to get his death timer going as quickly as possible. And he didn't waste a 2-minute cooldown to try and draw out his death needlessly.
There was no advantage from Simplicity either through the top lane. It wasn't like Simplicity was sitting on top of the enemy side fort getting a trade. It wasn't like it was a hero for a fort. It was a hero for 16 talent tier, essentially, which is just a minion wave or two. But now we get into what if I believe is our 4th Immortal phase of the game. And this is going to be spawning once again east-west positioning. And it is going to be race potential side for Simplicity on the left, race potential side for Chili Mountain on the right. Same spawn as our previous one. Let's see what happens here for both these teams as we have the Bruiser camp first for the side of Chili Mountain. Or I guess not first, but gain for Chili Mountain for this top lane.
And difficult situation. Simplicity is up against 3 camps. We want to jump into their comps to see how they get on.
Oh god, I think we can do that, yeah.
Finish, I can't finish.
I can't either.
Play more.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Outfield's burning, guys. This is 45 actually.
Should I
We're
look?
getting really good burn. I think we need to leave,
I
guys. We need to go clear. We need to go clear.
Yeah.
Have to go clear, everybody.
Think top.
Clear bot fast.
We're split right now.
That's defensive.
Oh, that's a good spawn.
It's really good.
They're racing. We gotta start going.
I'm in trouble. I'm in huge trouble.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
They ran it. Fucking did.
I have both balls.
What did they use on y'all?
Yeah, I'm playing underneath.
On it.
Done?
We should play it.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm chunking
Yeah,
hard. Nice. Burger.
One turn.
I'm coming in.
I'm chasing.
Careful the turn. Careful the Cassie turn. Careful the Cassie turn, guys.
Maltheo?
Come on, Maltheo.
I have to ult.
Okay. Look at Azzy. Look at
Yeah.
Azzy.
I'm ulting.
Okay.
Just kill.
Just burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that.
I'm on Azzy underneath.
Hosty burn. We have 34 seconds.
I have his eye. I'm let me see.
I'm just ulting.
Yeah, I got you.
Burn.
I
We need
have
to kill
some.
him, guys.
I still have one pull.
Can you finish, Hosty?
I have nothing else. I'm
I can go get
Help
top.
him. Azzy, he's getting fucked.
I have no mana, dude.
Can we step back in quickly as we're 5?
Yeah, before
yeah.
Garrosh is back.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, before Grosh is back.
Careful
I
this
still have
engage.
I still have one pull.
I have a Q for
I
this.
can
We
get it.
got it. We got it.
Run. Clear everything.
Can we get the gloves or no garage still?
Yeah, we can. I'm with you.
I'm full back.
We're just 5-man top. I'm gonna get top.
I think they wanted to race the Immortal there, Grubby.
Yeah, I believe they wanted to burn it. I believe they wanted to burn it all.
I feel like I feel like those are the comms when I play solo Storm League and I die, we get an advantage, and my team goes, "Let's get camps," and it's just like, "Burn the Immortal, we're winning!" Just
And Hosty, oh my god, big combo there on Urel. That's
bye.
no way. Banana with the combo on the Urel, the known flank by the side laner. They're actually gonna move past the Immortal and see if they can get more. Azurite is getting burned. Azurite is getting big time burned. And it looks
Maltheo?
like Simplicity, well actually with Maltheo here,
Yeah.
can they keep this up?
Hosty going to be the target, healing pathogen being spread around. There's going to be a huge toss from Cattle to get the stun, but Hosty still alive. Is going to be chased by Burgle. That actually is Zarya getting the snipe. Immortal, Alarian is pushing in for the members of Simplicity through top lane, but with a double kill into Vala and Urel. Chili Mountain are marching through top. They've set up a win condition, and Cattle thought about backing off with this. Maybe he's just playing it safe as the main tank, but either way, this is going to be Chili Mountain stepping towards core. Chili Mountain loses their keep through top lane. Indomitable is going to be popped by this Garrosh. There will be a sanctification from the Tyrael. Sergeant Hammer gets popped like a pimple as Legacy is going to be next on the list for Chili Mountain to cool off. Those two will be taking a break while this is going to be the core still slowly falling. But here's the thing, Grubby. Oh no, it's not actually that big of a deal. Immortal's going to fall on the right-hand side. A little bit of shielding and core falling on the right, but that doesn't matter because Chili Mountain, they have the race, they have the damage, and they are going to be able to take game number 1 in our playoff day. I can't believe it.
God.
GG, well played from Chili Mountain. A dominant game, shutting down Simplicity in the most critical of moments. And honestly, Grubby, in my opinion, the death toll, the last nail in the coffin was the pick onto Cure in that side lane during the Immortal push.
That's it. You nailed it. I mean, that blind combo by Stukov there in that bush was insane. Just getting that combo there and then the silence and then stunning him in there. I didn't think it was going to be enough. 3 people to take down a Yrel, but she was silenced throughout all of it. Caterpillar got 3 tank bans against him by Simplicity. Went with the Garrosh, with the synergy of Zarya, and he popped. That final Wrecking Ball stun as well in the lane was sick. Throwing a minion on him. McIntyre, what do you think there of that game you just saw?
Yeah, I mean, what a way to kind of just find that one little weakness in the armor and then push to the victory. I mean, Chili Mountain, it looked like things were bouncing back for Simplicity, right? They had just won that Immortal. The posture fights that were going on seemed to be favored towards their side. And then all of a sudden, a play is made, right? Banana H 11-2 now on that Stukov. Able to find that Yrel in the bush just from Fog. A nice kind of combo, good synergy follow-up from the Grosh though to keep the Yrel in that silence pool, right? But just that one pick, they were go button for sure, right? Like they just ran them down another. And then even to say, let's just go for the core now. I think a big moment there actually when they went for that core. Because I'll be honest, I was sitting here thinking, this may not end well for you guys, but it ended up ending well for them because they were able to find the hammer pick that Anduin's heroic was unable to get off before the hammer fell. And I think that finding the kill on that hammer is what allowed them to take the core the way they would, because they were pretty clumped up taking like 5-man core hits, right? That's not a situation you really want to be in when you're diving the core. But I guess when you have the Stukov, when you have the Zarya, you just hit level 20, you're just allowed to do that, right? And Chili Mountain, really, really well played there against that Sergeant Hammer competition. I know a lot of teams struggle against it. So.
Especially on Battlefield of Eternity, it's almost like Banana was a very supportive player for his friendly team, able to set things up. That might actually be a PSD support play of the day. I'll leave that one to you, Mac, to decide. But I gotta say, like that setup from Banana, it was so good. And we've talked about Banana in the past. He's had some amazing plays on like Towers of Doom. I think that was in the PSD top 5 as well. But let's talk about our next map because we know where we're going to. These teams have already decided what they want to do, and it's going to be the members of Simplicity on the losing side opting for first pick priority, meaning that Chili Mountain has the choice to take us to one of the many maps available, and it is going to be Alterac Pass. For anyone wondering, the record for Chili Mountain is 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses, and for Simplicity, they have only played this map one time, and they have won that map. So, a little bit of record keeping for all of you at home if you're ever wondering what it's looking like for just this map as we're about to get into it. But Grubby, I can hear you giggling a little bit. Excited about Alterac Pass?
Yeah, you know, what I find so interesting about this, which is why, on the one hand, the 2 weekend breaks that we had, we all missed the CCL. But on the other hand, we knew it's going to be good because teams are going to be able to prepare after taking a little bit of time to relax and to recharge. They were able to prepare for these playoffs with things we haven't seen before. So to see Battlefield of Eternity left wide open to be picked, even though it didn't work out for Simplicity, and now to see Alterac coming in. Some of these maps that we don't see as much play on, it's all been leading up to this. I don't think it's been hidden on purpose by teams going into the playoffs, but I do think when you go into the playoffs, to be able to play somewhere where you haven't shown much strategy and to have the time to prepare for it is a very powerful potential preparation method. What did both teams prepare for this map into this going forward? That's going to be so interesting to see. We don't see a lot of Alterac.
You could see May priority for the side of Simplicity as they do have a strong record with her on this map. We could see more Cassia and Garrosh from the side of Chili Mountain. I really liked how Chili Mountain executed in that last composition, McIntyre. Do you have any thoughts or maybe priorities going to Alterac Pass that either side could change up?
I don't think anything from the last map outside of the Stukov. I just think Stukov right now is just such a dominant support, and we may even see it banned. Simplicity last game, target banning tanks. I think it looks like they're going to be doing the same thing here. They want to put Cattle on something he may be a little less comfortable with. I think that is an interesting strategy because Cattle is a very seasoned tank player, so he's played through several metas of Heroes of the Storm. So he's got the hero pool to do it, right? He could play a Murden, he could play an ETC, he just played a Garage, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is the right strategy. I do like the strategy from Chili Mountain here, though. Get rid of that Zero tool from here. This is a big map after all. I think a really heavy priority will be on like things like Falstad we'll possibly see that right wing. The global character is definitely on Alteric Pass. This is just, in my opinion, I haven't gotten to see enough of this map. I really love the design of it because here we see the Stukov ban too. I think that's a great decision. I haven't seen enough of this map, and I love it because there are so many different ways to win, and winning this map because of the core mechanic, right? Having those two regenerative beings, right, being the core and moving around in your space, and the armor that they lose every time you lose a keep. I think it really changes how teams have to find wins, right? You can't just win the objective and win the map. Sometimes you have to do a boss and an objective. Sometimes a boss and some split pressure can do the job, right? There's just so many different ways to win. There's not just one direction that you can go on this map. So both of these teams can draft whichever way they'd like, right? That Blaze as a first pick, I think, is a great way to open it up. He's a strong character. He can be played as a main tank. He can be played in the offlane. Very good at pushing waves, getting wave priority. If you use especially if you use your passive, you can pretty much one shot out a wave. And here we see Chili Mountain doing the strategy that I thought they might. They are going to go into that double global with the right wing and the false stab. Stukov banned out. I don't see why not. We'll see if Simplicity chooses to go the Lucio route here, and maybe get a little more proactive on the map. Lucio Tracer?
The Falstead being 6-4 for the side of Chili Mountain, they do play it quite a bit, 60% win rate overall on that hero. Haven't played it on Alterac Pass just yet. I actually agree with you. This Blaze at the level at the start, it's like how we used to see Arthas back in the day. Is he a main tank? Is he a bruiser? You can
That's really long ago.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago. But I always think it's such a good example, in my opinion, because I think that's a tactic that I don't see a lot in draft, where you start out early and you go, what are we gonna do? You have to decide what you, so. And also on the note of Blaze, Grubby, level 13 collision course, like, what is it, like at 13 you're dealing like 550 damage. Around level 20 it's like 700 damage from just the impact of your jet propulsion.
Yeah, it's insane, and it's a big part of why Blaze is so highly contested. His general kit is and was good, but that bonus damage really chunks. And he is really good at level 20 as well, which I think is worth mentioning. I think this is one of the maps where, as a team, you're most likely to get to level 20.
Oh, yeah.
So you take heroes that aren't just good at all the vagaries of the map, the little micro stuff, but you want to have monsters at level 20. So let's see. Is Brightwing a monster? Yeah, global, level 20, pretty insane. She can make people invisible. Fast Start, Mighty Gust, I call it the ranged mosh pit. Then you've got Lucio with Mixing Fire. Cassia is, of course, a monster. Can either get that bonus armor or the infinite ball lightning. All these heroes super good at level 20. You're in it for the long run on this map. It's a lot of defense, spamming the Hellbat camps, and then eventually, moving on. Sylvanas and Diablo. Caterpillar Diablo looked so strong a couple of weeks ago as well.
So siege heavy McIntyre, not siege heavy, but like the team fight's really good from Chili Mountain, and if they win, like let's say the explosiveness, there's a word I can't find for it, but essentially if Chili Mountain can get one kill, they can just destroy an entire front gate or go through an entire fort because of just the siege potential just from Falstead Sylvanas already.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of siege pressure. Greymane as a response from Simplicity, also a very good character at sieging. If you find that pick, right, if you find that little window of time where you can hit some structures for a few seconds. The Grosh main tank, I think that's something that they're going to do to kind of pressure that Diablo main tank response. I do think Brightwing Diablo combo is so good, that percent healing on him just gives him a massive amount of heal every time Brightwing Z's to him. They need something in this offlane to create pressure on that Garage. I think New York's a great choice here. As Grubby was just saying, we're playing for level 20. Entomb at level 20 can be game breaking, right? It's silencing even just the Garage. He cannot Indomitable, he cannot taunt, he can't throw someone away from him, and you're able to just put a bunch of damage on him before he even gets to play the game, right? So these are things that, I think Chili Mountain's going to be looking to do with their composition. For me personally, just looking at both of these drafts, I feel like this is so favored again for Chili Mountain. Their drafting has just felt on top of it today. And as you said, Grubby, maybe it's that extra time that they've had to adapt, to learn. But just looking at these two drafts, I feel like they can play the map very well. They can posture around the objective very well. And as you said, Baha, if they find a window of opportunity, they will get value out of those windows, getting out the camps on time every minute. That's very important on this map. Both teams are going to be looking to do it. On the side of Simplicity, they do have that Lucio. That is a pick that can make plays on the map, paired with a Garrosh possibly finding throw combos. But then again, Brightwing will always be there to protect who's thrown in. Will they be able to get out? There's a Gust, there's an Entomb. There's a lot of different ways to get that person out once they're thrown in. Simplicity can find a victory in this map for sure, but I'm going to give it to Chili Mountain again. I think they're just drafting and playing to their team's strengths so well here today.
So perfectly put, McIntyre. Thank you for your breakdown and analysis, and we'll see you after this game and see if you're correct with the Chili Mountain prediction. But let's get these teams introduced here as we're into Alterac Pass, map number 2, first best of 5 of the day. Here playing the Blaze, Hosty on the Cassia, Lutano playing Greymane, Legacy on the Lutano, and Masquerade playing the Garrosh. Body check Garrosh as well. On the right-hand side, we're going to be seeing the members of Chili Mountain with the 1 map win in this best of 5 so far. Banana on the Brightwing, Maka on the Falstead, Cattle on the Diablo, Azerite and Sylvanas, and Burgold on the Leoric. Grubby, the margins are like there's so many things to consider here, and I feel like it is so close between both these teams. Like it's razor thin, like who's got the advantage. And I'm gonna lean into Chili Mountain as well, but when I look at stats, it's like you got a Blaze, you got a Cassie, you got Lutano on Greymane again. Like Lutano's Greymane, if I'm not mistaken, is like 8-1 with wins and losses. So it's a really strong. 7-1. Played 8 total times. So still, it's a really strong Greymane, but in top lane, potential gank onto Leoric through the Greymane and the Lucio. Wraithwalk should be enough. But Grubby, we've heard from Mac, you've heard from me. What are your thoughts into this Alterac Pass map, or even who's maybe has the better draft?
Yeah, I think the strongest part of Simplicity's draft is the fact that they have Greymane and Cassia. These 2 heroes. Cassia is really good into Greymane, so by picking her early and taking her away from Azerite, Lutano's Greymane is empowered.
Yeah.
Lutano, you said, is 7-1. This isn't in a vacuum where you just slam picks it first, right?
Correct.
They pick it when the conditions are right. They have protected the Greymane by taking the Cassia there first. So I love that part, first of all. He's going to be a monster on that. But overall, I think Chili Mountain's draft is a little better. And I'm looking at this from a healer perspective.
Okay.
We have many ways to pick someone off. Entomb, Diablo combo, Gust, Polymorph, and Mind Control, if that's what it's going to be. Here's the problem. Lucio, a fantastic healer, great on this map as well. And I think we will see his strength, especially as performed by Legacy. But when someone gets entombed and Lucio is outside of it, he can't high-five the target. When you try to high-five someone, you're gonna derp around that position and unable to deliver. And you cannot actually control your character, your Lucio, when that happens, unless you make sure you go in via the entrance, and that's just risky. So I do think it is gonna be a challenge for the healer here to save whoever is in an Entomb. This is not like Anduin into Leoric Entomb, and that could be a challenge going forward. Cattle really playing aggressively here. They have the confidence that they can maybe get this kill on Lucio. I thought that was so far out of range, but they nearly did it. He drops to 10% life.
I'm also looking at this body check Garrosh, as I mentioned at the start, and that phase shift from Brightwing seemingly did nothing to Diablo's health pool. Why? Well, because body check reduces the healing that heroes receive by 30%. So it's not mitigated, but still, a lot of that phase shift value's shut down, and so is Brightwing through mid lane. First blood over to the side of Simplicity, saying, Grubby, Bahamut, McIntyre, you have no idea what you're talking about. We have the stronger draft. We are going to be the more dominant force here in map number 2, and we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. I mean, first kill, I mean, GG's, let's go next, right? It's like getting hit with the Sentinel from Tyrande. If you get hit by the Sentinel, that's it, game's over.
Yep. I mean, I've seen players say that before at tournaments. Mene, when his first combo hit with Falstad, when you were stacking on that, he's like, oh, GG, got it.
On the note of Falstad, I played. I like to try and change up my build on Falstad, but I did go for this auto attack build on one of the maps, and that was the reason I talked about the siege potential of just Falstad. You turn on your tailwinds from level 1, and you're stacking from that. Plus, you have the secret weapon at level 7, so your auto attack damage is just through the roof, and that's what I got so much value consistently in siege moments. Hammering build, sometimes it's fun to reduce the spell armor of some people. If you have a Chromie or a Li Ming on your team, can kind of really burst into the enemy side, but this auto attack build is so very, very strong. And just want to quickly look, we have 9 stacks on that one, 56 souls for Diablo, 21 stacks on this Cassia, and we still have Legacy working on his level 4, the Subwoofer.
In the meantime, just insane damage here by Simplicity. They bring all 5. They had the quietly quicker Sapper Camp capture null camp capture, that is. And it debuffs minus 20 armor on buildings as well. So it's a great time to bring in all 5 and to momentarily neglect top and bottom XP. And they did just that. I can't overstate enough how important it is. A mid lane is more important than any other lane in the early to mid game, as it controls whether someone can safely defend the objective, fall back behind towers and wall, use the healing fountain, and then get back to the objective. Or even interrupt the objective as someone is trying to cap it when it spawns in the south side. It's very, very important. Late game, top and bot are most important, as they are the boss lanes. But early game, this one is the most important. So I would say Simplicity is quite far ahead getting to this point. They've defended their wall so well.
Haunting Wave forward from Azerite, I thought they were going to trigger it, but not going to be chasing it onto Masquerade, who is going to be forced to Hearth away. 10 talents you're going to be rolling through on both sides in just a little bit. And I'm still skimming through some of the talents. Pretty standard builds across the board. Nothing really massive of note.
Well, Cassia, though. Cassia level 7 is an interesting choice.
Yes. Grounding Rod, I didn't know. I just noticed that. Yeah, enemies hit by Lightning Fury or Fend are slowed by 20%. That's going to play well into the Garrosh, the Lucio, the Greymane. I mean, it plays well into the entirety of the team. Good note there, Grubby.
Yeah, normally it's the explosion around Cassia herself, take enough armor, take enough damage while you're armored from your trade, and then do good AoE damage around yourself. It's quite spammable. But it doesn't feel like that's apparently quite playable into this comp, into the Diablo's control, the Wailing Arrow, the Tomb, the Gust, the Polymorph. And he's like, no, I'm gonna play from a little further. I'm gonna slow down the Diablo. You can see that 20% slow, afflicting Diablo there. And that also probably happens to proc Greymane's level 16 Executioner talent.
It would get value off of that, but right now the Lightning Breath from Diablo does come out. He is actually A-okay. It was burgled on the Leorc, who was actually getting bursted down. I couldn't read which health bar was which, and unfortunately the team fight is going to yield a win for the side of Simplicity, as Chili Mountain was looking to make a big turnaround, but can Cure make it out alive? Nice kill from Make. So a little bit of equalization or parity found through bottom lane, as not sure who's pinging Make. Might be Cure saying, hey, this guy just killed me.
Most likely it's actually Chili Mountain side, right? Like, good job. You won the one-on-one after drawing out Bunker. That's a pretty big deal.
Grubby, you brought up something that I've wanted to talk about, because we've been kind of skirting this topic for a little bit here. We've talked about the value of Entomb, the value of Buried Alive, but if Blaze is not inside of that Entomb or Buried Alive, can't he just spawn a bunker right next to him? People can just click into it. Can't they just hop the fence, if you will, and get into the bunker?
Yes, gank on bottom lane. It was one-on-one Falstad against Greymane, but the one-on-one was not respected. After all, winning the war, much more important than earning the respect of the one-on-one honorable combat. Brightwing popping in, giving the heal, and they get the Lutano kill. Always dangerous to commit to one-on-ones. This was on the side of Chili Mountain's map side, and Lutano willingly took that one-on-one, I presume, as Gust is not consumed. It's not like Chili Mountain used Falstad's Gust in order to isolate him. But back to your question, it was?
Bunker.
Bunker, yes. You can put the bunker on the side of the wall and then pop out. Not when he's inside like this, but you're 100% right. If Entomb is on the wall, like if Entomb is walled, overlaid on the bunker, you can pop in and out on either side that you prefer, and when Blaze is outside, can also do preferential in and outs.
So I'm looking at okay, so it is one of those things where it's a good disengage tool for the side of Simplicity. I was watching in top lane as Kier almost got ganked once again. There's going to be a toss onto Leorc. Does he have Wraithwalk to be able to get away? Yes. He should be able to back away. Falstad will fly into mid lane to mitigate any of that null camp value. As you mentioned, this is kind of the pseudo-real objective. It's like when you go to Hanamura Temple, you want that Genji camp or the Sentinel camp constantly pushed into wave, because that is really going to get you your most structural value. The objective phase on Hanamura, it tickles towers, much like Phoenix ults.
Yeah, just to, I mean, Hanamura, man, one day, if we ever have extra seasons of CCL, will we ever have Hanamura? Blizzard seems to love the map. They removed, not Hanamura, but Volskaya. But yeah, the objective does 4 cannonballs out of 12 on one gate of the keep. That's how bad it is.
It's a rough go. Maybe you know what? Maybe we'll see Haunted Mines back into the rotation at some point. I'll hold out for it forever. I just love the thematic nature of it all and the motif of the map. It's just fun. I always loved it. I understand balancing, blah blah blah. Sure, yeah, chat, you're right with that. But fun-wise, I thought it was a cool map. Anyways, boss for bottom lane was grabbed by the side of Chili Mountain. We do see Cure on the Blaze grabbing this null camp for mid, and I think it's a lot of posturing through top lane to make sure that Chili Mountain doesn't go for boss, or even Simplicity goes for boss in top. So that's why I think we saw that scuffle in top for a little bit.
Yeah, it's Chili Mountain grabbing boss with 2 while keeping busy with 3. You notice how their pieces are spread out across the chessboard, and Chili Mountain has got a plan here. They've got the playbook. Yes, they lost their mid gate early. It never transitioned to too big of a disadvantage. They're controlling really well here. And to be honest, if Chili Mountain avoids all-out war, Leoric's lack of fear in solo pushing, which Lutano does have. We saw how Lutano gets punished when he solo pushes.
Sorry.
Leoric is just not afraid. We've got globals. Chili Mountain, if they avoid all-out war, they should be winning with their global comps here.
Great gust from Falstad. A little also Pixie Dust for Cattle as well to mitigate some of that spell damage coming in. I was looking at the experience breakdown because we have a solid level lead for Chili Mountain. It's honestly a little bit in heroic kills, like maybe a 400 experience difference, a little bit in structures. The biggest thing is, funny enough, minion experience. Chili Mountain has been able to macro across this map, and I keep bringing up this point that McIntyre discussed at the start of the broadcast, but I think it is the most important one to mention here between both these teams. Who's going to have the stronger macro play? And when Chili Mountain had the opportunity to take us to, the next map, this map being Alterac Pass, they had a plan in mind. They wanted this double global. I think they knew exactly how they wanted to play this map, and it's unfolding very well for them. With that being said, and with the subjective phase being won by Chili Mountain due to the fact of the 16 talent tier advantage, Simplicity goes for the consolation prize, as you called it, Grubby. They're going to grab this boss for top lane and put some off-lane pressure. But that's read by Chili Mountain, who immediately move into bottom. And this is the siege I was talking about in the draft. You let Chili Mountain start running away with things, and look at this. This is a keep down to 50% in, 3.5, 4 seconds?
Yeah, this is insane amounts of damage. A very quick response by Chili Mountain as well. There we have that collision course coming in. They keep dropping to 5%. Still taking damage from minions. It's about 5% or so. This fight is going to be very, very impactful. Lightning Breath means Diablo cannot get controlled by Garrosh. The Gust follows up on that sentiment. The minions come in. 2 headhunters are still shooting the keep. It has 1792 health. About 1 fast start auto attack secret weapon combo. The boss, the consolation prize, has served a small purpose, but these raiders do not depreciate in health over time. They need to be dealt with. Staggered arrival is still nice for Simplicity. It allows them to deal with the bottom here. And it looks like Simplicity just says, you know what, bottom lane, there's no way we could ever stop it, even if we tried. We're gonna let that one go. 0 threat on core. Core damage doesn't matter. We'll defend mid, the last bastion of our outer ramparts.
Stormpike, Vandar, and Drekthar, the 2 cores, will regain health over time. You're actually going to see this in the top left of your screen, or I guess the blue bar. You're going to see that start to drop down, but if you're new to Heroes, you've never played this map, or you're just hanging out for the first time watching some esports, and you're like, wait, what's happening on this map? There's a uniqueness with this map, and it's the only map in Heroes of the Storm that regains its health. So watch this right now. You'll see that blue bar jump back up in health, and so this is the important thing in Alterac Pass, and that's why we also discussed in the draft as well about this being a map that often goes to level 20. You typically need to get 2 keeps down before you end, because not only does this core regain its health, not only does it step out and get a big whirlwind spin on you, but it actually has physical and spell armor, 20 per keep available. So that's often why we see 2 keeps fall before this map ends. It's rare when a team can end with only 1 keep down. The only times I see that happen are just super late game scaling and very long death timers. Mid lane though, Grubby has a little bit of a push, maybe a fight to break out.
And that's what Simplicity wants and needs here. They have about 1 level to clear before Storm tier talents are attained by Chili Mountain, at which point they could push in. A Tomb from the side, Shadow Charge misses, does not get the big combo. Bunker just in case. Gato gets a big heal. There's a big stun on Leoric. He may fall, but it's only Leoric. Don't overly risk position for it. Meanwhile, Azurite working away on those gnolls. And goal achieved though. Goal achieved. There's a kill on Burgold.
Ooh, that was just a shutdown onto Leoric, but a matching shutdown onto this Greyman and Lucio. The lightning breath has a little bit of a slow, and Lucio wasn't able to skate away. Masquerade out of position. And I need to look really quickly. Yeah, it's going to be a 40% slow on that. So Lucio was just moving through mud at that moment. And now Falstad, this is what I talked about, and I keep bringing it up because it's, oh wow, Cure is just going to punish this, or at least try to. Unless Hosty gets picked off, this is a stagger death you do not want on the side of Simplicity, and that is going to be happening. And so here's the siege potential. Azerite has like no mana, but you can turn on those black arrows and lock down these towers. Leoric will respawn them in 10 seconds, but Falstad moves to the objective phase to immediately start getting some of that channel time. 50 seconds are necessary, with the death timer the longest in Cassie at 38 seconds. But this keep in top lane, it is going to be falling. This could be the win condition setup for Chili Mountain. Not right now, but through this objective phase. Simplicity will have one more opportunity, in my opinion, to be able to stop that. I'm sorry, Cattle, that read, hello?
Burgold actually did the same thing. The front line here, both protecting their back line from getting smashed here by a big stun that does damage. He hell-gated in front. Pretty fancy. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Chili Mountain with such a comfortable lead here, Bahamut. 5 forts against 1 keep. The core is down to 20 armor. And the objective is being channeled. 15 seconds left.
They have to give this, I
so
feel,
good.
because this is the exact same setup as the 15 to 16 objective phase we saw where Falstad found the bottom lane keep. Actually, I believe that was literally the last objective phase we had on the map, and it's the same setup. There's a level lead, a talent tier advantage. Simplicity says we have to defend, and we have to make a great stand. Grubby, in my opinion, I think this is the big stand on this map right now. Do you want to get into Chili Mountain comms and see how they deal with this, or do you want to watch this from afar and engage and enjoy it together?
Yeah, let's jump in.
All right, into Chili Mountain we go.
So they can look for something.
Don't show. Okay,
I have
it's fine.
Blink
It's fine. I'm gonna get this wave out. Getting this wave out. So we play for core. Cassius mid. We start hitting core.
Yeah, I can start it.
Be careful of tossing into keep. We play on this side. Look for the entomb gust right away on this guy. On Muska. Look on Muska.
No bullets.
Look on the garage. Yeah. We walk up with the Rective. The Rective is coming. And entomb gust first, I would say. Yeah. We just wait for top. We can wait for top getting in here. And I'm ready on. Oh, look, Muska! We heal up, Leo.
I have him.
Go! Nice.
Hit 4.
Hit core, hitting core, and then shield. Play the fight. Yeah, shield. We have a blink coming. Play it slow.
War's already pretty low. Right away, yeah. Stunning blaze.
Wait, go in and look for a kill now. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Oh,
I'm on it. Core is spawning. You play it slow.
Lucio.
Yeah.
Core.
Nice.
There we go, boys.
Did I?
With Vandar Stormpike falling, this is going to be the members of Chili Mountain taking map number 2 against Simplicity. I gotta get McIntyre immediately back in here. I know all three of us were like, yeah, we were calling for a Chili Mountain win, but did you expect it to be this decisive, McIntyre, already?
I mean, I think so, actually. The thing about the 2 drafts here was, in my opinion, I think Chili Mountain really played for the map, right? As good and strong as the heroes that Simplicity chose to pick are, there's not really a lot of synergy when it comes to controlling the waves on the map, having players that can get out of position to push waves further, right, and still be safe. Falstad and New York, as you guys mentioned, are great characters to do that, and it allows you to set up positions where you get objectives for free, or we even saw Chili Mountain at a moment in this game just get a boss as a 2-man without Simplicity even knowing it was happening, just because of the pressure that they were creating on the map, because of the characters that they had chosen. So it just felt like Simplicity was always just trying to figure out, what do we do next? They had a great choice of a kind of Hail Mary there in the middle lane, where they just pushed to try to force a fight onto the mid fort. And the fight they got, right? They got that fight. It just so happened Chili Mountain took the fight better, right? And able to clean up a couple kills, get even more pressure on the side of Simplicity's map, and yeah, win the game, I think, really dominantly, right? Also, shoutouts to Cattle. That Hellgate was spicy. So just to let everyone know some clarity on that, he tried to Hellgate as he saw the charge happening in response, so that when the charge ended, he would be stunned by that Hellgate, right? So if he had done it maybe 0.5 seconds earlier, He could have stunned Cure and gotten a kill on him. It would have looked super sick. Definitely would have gone to the montage reel. But sadly, a little mistimed, but very cool attempt, right? Just creatively thinking about how to outplay the enemy. And I think Chili Mountain's just on top of it. That last combo, talking about creativity, let's Entomb Maska the second he comes up, and then Gust. And they just, the second he stepped up there in that last fight of the game, Entomb came down, Gust follow up. They all piled on top. Able to win here, game number 2 against Simplicity. Chili Mountain up 2-0.
Things are definitely heating up in the kitchen as we are in this first best of 5 of the day. And I was actually looking at the talents. I missed this completely because it was just such a chaotic end. It wasn't even buried alive. It was actually the Burning Despair. And that's what kept Burgult alive in that last push. Burgult lived with like a sliver of HP consistently. And I was like, how are you doing this? You have buried alive. No, you've got Burning Despair that offers you a little extra armor, just a little bit of extra armor. I believe 40 on that one. So it's very, very strong. But as I said, things are heating up. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, make sure that we get these players a little bit of water, let them stretch their legs, and when we come back, we're going to find out, will Chili Mountain be able to 3-0 the dominant force that is Simplicity, or will Simplicity start to roll things back and put some more pressure onto the side of Chili Mountain? Don't go anywhere. We have more HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom coming back at you in just a few. Welcome back to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. I'm still Bahamut, still joined by the lovely Grubby and McIntyre, and it has been a really fun series so far. We have seen the members of Chili Mountain freezing out the competition of Simplicity, and we talked about this actually extensively during the entirety of the break. We were discussing like the theory crafting and the draft patterns and all this stuff. And Chili Mountain, they're in a really good morale spot, I think, as you put, Grubby, and as well as McIntyre was saying, I think Cattle has this really good player of Make to play off of as well. And Chili Mountain comms, they're very high in energy and very positive, whereas Simplicity is seeming a little bit, I wouldn't say their backs are against the rope, but they seem a little more tense, a little bit more pressured, if you will, by the side of Chili Mountain. So it's been a really good series so far, and I want to get both of your thoughts just a little bit here before we get into this next map. Grubby, what are your thoughts on everything that's unfolding?
What's interesting, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you're kind of down or pressured or stressed and then just try to be happy? Like you could be in an argument and you're having your serious voice. Can you suddenly relax and be lighthearted and laughing again? It's really tough, actually, to make that kind of switch. Clowns on the team can help, but some situations seem so dire or serious, as we see Tomb of the Spider Queen is going to be the next map, that it is not easy to make that switch. And I think the switch in mood comes from a switch in confidence. And how do you get that confidence back? Always the team needs to go back to what works best for them. Basic combos, things that worked in the past, easy synergies. I mean, Chili Mountain looks mega scary. Almost anyone would feel stressed against them now. For Simplicity, I think their drafts, their hero picks, their strengths, they have been good. They have made a few more mistakes, and morale does seem a little worse and flagging by the minute, even as Chili Mountain gains momentum. But I think it's draft synergy in the end that they need to find their strength in. In game 1, they had synergies of speed and poke between Vala, Tyrael, and Hammer. In game 2, they had Lutano's Greymane, and they had Cassia to protect for that. But then there's also a Garrosh that doesn't fill the same role that we've seen Simplicity win with sometimes. The Anubarak Greymane combo puts in massive amounts of pressure with lockdown and DPS, but the Garrosh Greymane combo doesn't do as much on the side. So I do think both games that Chili Mountain, even though I didn't believe in their Malthael pick in game 1, has kind of outdrafted Simplicity so far. And we were talking about that, and I think we're kind of in agreement about that. Going into this, you can feel more relaxed if you have more faith and possibilities from your draft. Maybe that's the key here for Simplicity.
Well, as we get into Tomb of the Spider Queen, you had mentioned, Grubby, this will be a Simplicity map choice. Simplicity, the losing team, opting for map pick rather than first pick priority. And for anyone wondering on stats, Chili Mountain has played this map 6 times. They're 3-3, whereas Simplicity, yes, they've played it 7 times. They're 5-2. So I think Simplicity, they're trying to kind of do what we're discussing here is like they're trying to find stable ground. They won't be able to kind of clown around and just and get morale back that way. I feel like Simplicity, they want to have a dominant game. They need to crush the enemy, if you will, and I think that's going to really bolster their momentum and their synergy and even morale. So that's at least all of us, we're all playing therapist for the teams right now, but we're gonna kick things off with McIntyre with a Junkrat pick over on the side of Chili Mountain.
Yeah, massive fan of Junkrat on this map. His ability to control kind of the rotations there with the fog brushes between each lane is super powerful and effective. Just also his ability to clear waves. He's a takeaway pick in my mind too, because he's kind of counter-picking the fact that Lutano really likes Junkrat on this map, right? One claptrap on a rotation and immediately now you're stuck and a pick possibility happens. A good answer to something like that though is definitely this Uther pick, being able to cleanse, being able to de-shield someone out of trouble. Doesn't stop someone from getting knocked in by a mine, but possibly could get them out. So I like this, and we're seeing a full commitment to that Vala double support comp possibly that we did not see there in game number 1. The Vala was first picked, and then no second support followed after. So some adjustment here from the side of Simplicity, but will it be enough for Chili Mountain? They're just swinging right here. All of these picks, Urel, Stukov, will Banana be able to make it a 12-2 record here, right? I would also argue Urel is incredibly effective on this map, pressuring that bottom lane, being able to rotate to the middle lane with priority a lot of the time, get those gems turned in, find pick opportunities in the middle lane, help on hard camps, just be where she needs to be at. I think she's a great pick for this map. So really, this draft has started off so well for, I think, both teams. They're drafting into definitely what they want to do. And the way it unfolds now, what tanks are taken. We'll see here.
Maybe?
For which side?
I think Simplicity must pick up a Nubarak most likely. Well, they
Main
don't
tank Uther,
have
right?
to.
I feel like they could actually go like...
I don't like it as much anymore, main tank Uther.
No. I'm wondering if they're going to go like Omega aggressive composition and go like Kerrigan Ana or something like that for just sustained lockdown. But then you have Junkrat Urel to just knock people away. So yeah, I guess they're going to play into the Leoric here. I'm going to make the joke. Cho'Gall. Yeah, I mean, Cho's a tank. They're slotted in for it perfectly. It's tuned. But I do agree. I actually love the Anubrak for Chili Mountain. Cattle's really good on that hero. The ads, the beetles, if you will, are a great way to supply extra push into the towers. They can eat shots while your friendly team sieges in. So I really would hope for that pickup. Maybe even a Sylvanas as well for the side of Chili Mountain for that sustained push. But please, Mac.
They need some chaos damage. See what? Yeah, Sylvanas is probably a great choice.
Call.
And the Nubarak main tank is awesome too. As both of you said, super proactive, very good on this map, and great at holding spaces.
Yeah, that's expected.
So I'm not going to bring up my past, but
yeah.
Zeratul on Spider Queen. I think it's a great thought, and I love the fact that Cure gets it here. However, out of BlizzCon, I may have lost on Spider Queen as Zeratul because of this map, and the reason for that is he must pick up the gems, and Zeratul has no real way to sustain himself, right? What this is going to do is this is probably going to bring Zeratul into the 4-man or a kind of rotation to the bottom lane in order to get those gems. And he must hit level 16. Spider Queen is also a map where if the side of Chili Mountain is able to get that boss at level 16, get that turn in, run it down top and core, they can win before Zeratul even comes online, right? This is not a map that can go late. Sure, it might, right? You can get to that, where nobody has gems and you're kind of dallying around. But it's also a map where if you turn in and while you get a boss, while you have a 2-level lead, you can close out matches, right? I would say, for me, while I'm very excited about this pick, and by all means, Kier, best of luck in this game. I'm going to give this one to Chili Mountain. They're just on fire right now. This draft is so strong for this map. There's so much wave clear, so much kill pressure. GLHF is all I have to say.
Thank you, McIntyre, and we'll see if your prediction is correct. And I'd be one to lean into a Chili Mountain win as well. As that's what I've written down in my notebook. But let's see what happens here. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 3, first best of 5 of the day. Can Simplicity run it back and take us to a game number 4? Let's find out. We got Simplicity in the blue, Hosty on the Vala, Legacy on the Lucio, Cure on the Zeratul, Lutano on the Leoric, and Masquerade on Uther. Over in the red, trying to close us out in the 3-0, we got Banana on the Stukov, Azerite on the Junkrat, Maka on the Sylvanas, Cattle on the Anubrak, and Burgult on the Arel. This is your Chili Mountain roster, and we are here into mid lane. Grubby, what we have, maybe, actually, hold on, there's a dive onto Hosty. There's a lot of damage already coming out. Good concussion mine from Junkrat. A lot of pressure onto this follow, who's getting chunked quite heavily, and she will go down. Unfortunate first kill, and she actually has that little bit of a rubber band with that new skin. But anyways, I want to get your thoughts on the draft. Maybe even a prediction, or maybe that is a little too late to call.
Yeah, no, with the new information granted to me,
yes.
in Hosty's early demise. No, I was going to say Chili Mountain anyway. I really love the draft they put together. I think it's strong. 2 kills already, what? I think Chili Mountain has the better draft here.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Uther main tank cannot force any aggressive engagements. Like, Lucio will try to get him in that position, but I think Uther is going to get so chunked by Sylvanas Junkrat before he can even get near. And I'm also thinking of, what if one of these teams get the turn-in? How is Chili Mountain going to defend against turn-in? Well, they've got Junkrat, who can solo defend a turn-in against multiple enemies even. Sylvanas, almost same thing, right? Anubrak has one of the highest push and wave clear of any tank because of the Beetles. What's Simplicity gonna do against it? How do they defend 3 consecutive Web Weavers? Vala has decent clear. Zeratul, decent when he doesn't get pressured. Leoric is good, but Uther and Lucio don't bring much at all.
I would agree.
And even those that are decent are not as good as what Junkrat and Sylvanas are. So Simplicity, not allowed to lose a lot of Web Weavers. Maybe the first one, but anything past the, 8-minute mark is going to be catastrophic for them when you consider Black Arrow, Anubarak's dive potential, and the lack of wave clear, really, for Simplicity. This is Simplicity desperate. Trying to get Cure to be Zeratul. They weren't allowed it on Alterac. This is not an ideal map for it. McIntyre's prophetic words there about Zeratul's struggles here in having to pick up gems and so on. It's not ideal, but Simplicity can no longer play from a place of comfort. They are bringing in the ultimate weapon, Cure Zeratul. Will it be enough? Will the game last long enough? We shall see.
Let's see if they can play Exodia, or if they'll get all the pieces in place for that to actually happen. 4 talents here on both sides. A little bit of an experience advantage for the side of Chili Mountain through those initial 2 kills, as I had mentioned. It's only going to be it's a little less than 600 experience. Mercenaries actually have a little more experience than the heroic kills so far, as Lutano is just forcing Cattle out of top lane, but also Lutano being forced out of top lane by the Chattering Teeth. But now Lutano maybe getting caught up. There's going to be an impale from the Anubrak. Good lurking arm from Banana. And this will just be the disengage. Turn-in from Banana, attempted Legacy, trying to get a little bit of a stall. And Cattle threatening as Here steps in on this Zeratul, will be hit with the Impale, has to blink backwards to disengage. Grubby, if I'm not mistaken, I remember being in a team comms, and I want to say it was actually Oxygen versus Chili Mountain, and it wasn't Tomb, but I believe it was like a Chattering Teeth build Azerite, and there was like, we got into the comms, and they just kept getting hit by the Gotta Trap 'em all, the Chattering Teeth, the Big Az, all of that kind of control with those, the steel traps, and I remember hearing in the comms like, God, we just can't deal with this. And it's one of those things like, do we get to, like, I know Zeratul comes online, absolutely, but so can a Junkrat with the steel trap build, and we're already seeing that start with the Chattering Teeth at level 4. The assumption Big Az is level 7, but that doesn't matter because there's a massive double kill in mid lane. More experience to go over to the side of Chili Mountain, bolstering them into level 7, and this is also enough for turn-in, and they will find on the side of Chili Mountain. Grubby, momentum, decisiveness, the kill pressure, the command to even go in as a team and just make these snap decisions. Well played from Chili Mountain in game number 3, 4 minutes in, but it's not over just yet. We got to see how things go, and we got to see how this wave clear pans out for Simplicity.
Not very well, I don't think. Vala, Sarah, Leo, I don't think it's going to be enough to defend. I think we'll see a massive stride forwards here for Chili Mountain. This is going to end with them like level 10 versus 8 potentially at the best for them. And Banana H with a casual 11 wins, 11-2? 11 wins, 2 loss record, coming in there with the big combo from the side. Cure nearly stacked on his globes, and he scrambles to defend top lane. as Chili Mountain mostly rotates towards bottom lane, out of vision, it should be noted. So this will come as a bit of a surprise to Lutano and to Legacy and to Masquerade, but they're in a good position here. Hosty comes in as well, and not as much damage as I thought might come over. It's still only just the first Web Weaver phase. As we look at the gem count, Chili Mountain doesn't have enough for a back-to-back payment yet.
They're getting very close as a few more gems will be grabbed in bottom lane by Burgult, and this is still pressure being supplied, but it's looking like a few beetles are dropped off in the lane by Cattle, and they're going to rotate into mid lane on the side of Chili Mountain, trying to open things up a little bit further. Also to note, I was looking at the minimap and some of the vision. Cure on Zeratul is showing in the top lane, clearing on said Zeratul, so that's why they rotated so many into bottom lane to try and set some sort of off-pressure team fight to happen, but Simplicity played it safe, cleared from afar, and now Simplicity, the ones looking for a turn-in, but without the 10 encroaching on their side, it's very, very scary to even try and step forward. As I look at Vala in mid lane, she is very far forward, but doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to pick onto her. No Cattle, Burrow Charge, Impale combo, but still some gems being deposited from the side of Chili Mountain to be able to set up the next turn-in, which, as I said from the end of the last one, it's still looming. They were like somewhere in the 16 gem area was necessary to be picked up, and I think actually that we're looking at another 4 are necessary to be picked up on the map and turned in for the side of Chili Mountain, whereas 68, 69 gems very nicely sit on Simplicity's hands, not turned in yet.
Yeah, and even if they got the turn in like 10 seconds ago, they wouldn't have been able to use it because they wouldn't be level 10 yet. So this delay is fine for Simplicity. They also finally have that Blink quest for Zeratul, but he's gonna have to be ever careful for the Junkrat traps that move around and try to lock down that Zeratul. Put a trap under yourself as Junkrat and you're virtually safe from Zeratul trying to get to you, and that's even without Peel.
There's another Web Weaver turned in favor for the side of Chili Mountain, as it's 4-0 and kills Chili Mountain in the lead. And you mentioned those Chattering Teeth are great, but also there was the big as at level 4, which means the Chattering Teeth, or excuse me, the Steel Trap only focuses on to heroes. You can't bait a minion into the Steel Trap, you can't have the Web Weaver eat it or anything like that, and that it's going to be a big blight for Zeratul. Maybe even Chili Mountain, I know it was a first pick Junkrat, but maybe Chili Mountain expected the Zeratul, and this was a plan they had in mind all along. There will be a cleanse onto Leoric, who did get hit with about 50% of his HP, and this Web Weaver through mid pushes onto the forward.
Cure bot lane, dropping to 10% life in the one-on-one with Burkhold. He's taking so much damage from minions. No, Cure does not die in the one-on-one.
Double blink back, but Burgold reads it! Burgold reads the blink back! Does he have an avenging? Oh, jeez!
Cure, what happened to you?
Jeez, Grubby!
I'm sorry. I mean, I had to show you. I had to look.
30 gems, and Cure thought he had the outplay, but Burgold had the outplay.
But this is what McIntyre was saying, right? Like, Zeratul will be called upon to do jobs that is uncomfortable for him. Here he was trying to hold the minions away from his fort, clear them against the indigestible Yrel. And he took damage from minions, from Yrel. He tried to juke, but Burgold, that at the start of the season looked just good, has transformed to be a very, very good offlane player. One of the most improved players. He finds Zeratul. He knows how the Zera works. There is no better Zeratul than Cure in the CCL. But is today his highest level? I'm not sure, actually. What is exactly going on?
This is right now. I'm looking at the minimap, and Leoric is very far forward with too many gems. Concussion Mine.
43 gems.
Bye. 43 gems. Cocoon onto this onto the Uther. Cure is actually going to pick up a lot of the gems on the right hand side. So Cure actually has 46 gems or something like that. So he did sneak his way in to pick those up. And so now Azerite and crew, they are on a mission to try and kill the Zeratul. But as you mentioned, he's got a lot of maneuverability, especially with that Shadow Hunter quest at level 1, to be able to just blink around the map a lot faster. And so this is going to be gems secured. Lutano caught out a second time.
He just came back. I spook, I die, I spook again.
Wait. I think you might have a little green fellow mixed with a Leoric, maybe.
Yeah, me or Lutano?
Either one, honestly. But this, I can't imagine being Cure right now with 50 gems on a Zeratul. You want to be in the face of the enemy team. You want to be doing all these big, flashy, blow-up plays, but you can't. Because if you die, that is your economy. That is one turn-in shut down.
Okay, Bahamut.
Yes.
Fast forward into the future. We're in the future now.
Okay.
We look back. Simplicity has won this game.
Okay.
Can you imagine how they feel? Ribbing each other, elbow in the ribs, and be like, ha ha ha. Do you remember how this game started? Man, we really didn't know how we were gonna win, but remember when that one thing happened? I can't imagine that one thing right now. I can't imagine this future occurrence happening, but imagine if.
Maybe a world where they get like the most insane buried alive with some mixing fire, and then they have Death Siphon at 20 from Hosty, and he just has forever proc, and then Zeratul cleaning up. Like, maybe that's the realm we see it, but that's a big maybe. And oh no, Cure tried to go for the turn-in, but that's the third web weaver for the side of Chili Mountain. Oh, this is a rough go, as Cattle will not be able to make the burrow charge connect, but now Kira's gonna. I know we keep mentioning this, but it still is. It's your most bursty, divey, maneuverable hero that you don't want getting caught out has 60 gems.
Yeah.
It's a hard place to be
make
in.
some plays.
Yeah,
it's,
you don't want to make those plays because you don't want to drop those gems because you make those plays so far from your friendly team. You are that backline, crusher, if you will.
D-Shield is there.
Yes.
Uther taking a bit of damage in the mid lane here. Of course, Hosty is still scaling, but it's really only about 20 stacks on multi-shot. That's the biggest part of it. After that, it kind of slows down with the new scaling introduced to that. Still, here's the goal for Simplicity. They cannot focus on the big goal now, winning comebacks. Too hard, right? But focus on the small one. Keep 3 keeps alive and get our level 16 talents. The thing is, though, about Cure and Zeratul, while Zeratul scales at level 16, Zeratul is almost entirely based in damage versus health. He wants the one-shot, or maybe the two-shot. He is a damage versus health character. He doesn't rely on huge slows, roots, or stuns to get his kills. No isolation methods here that can break almost any level deficit. You remember what Chili Mountain did last game at the core? Entomb on Garrosh, Gust, Polymorph. Focus everything you have into him, 5v1. That would have worked 2 levels down. Zeratul, that is based in damage versus health, will suffer from a 2-level deficit. He will do. It will seem like he's doing more than like 10% less damage than he should be. He has 8.5, or 9% less scaling. Oppos have 9% more scaling. That's damage versus health. Yeah, he'll be doing 15%, even more deficit in damage. But he's gonna try to start working on that. There he is on Azerite. Azerite back to the gate. He's safe.
Is able to back away with the Righteous Hammer. I think that might have been a multi-shot. I thought it was strafe used, but either way, Burgolt getting chunked quite heavily. Does still have Ardent Defender. Cure, 68 gems in their pocket, has to blink away. There will be an Entomb from Lutano. Cocoon onto this ball on the left-hand side of the screen. A lot of damage onto Cattle. Flailing Swipe will be used. Zeratul missing the cleave onto one as the Flailing Swipe did force back the enemy side. Wailing Arrow will be, I believe, whiffed onto the right-hand side of our screen. And this is looking like the members of Simplicity might get their first turn in, but we consistently see this Azerite Junkrat poking out with those extra wound timers, also with the endless nades. And there's the turn-in finally. First turn-in for the side of Simplicity. What value do they get? Or will Lutano go down again? No, 22 gems fall.
Oh my god.
And Leoric, I guess.
A banana standing on the gems like it's his grandmother's heirloom. He's like, you're not getting this one. Chili Mountain will be faced with their first negative objective against them, but they actually mix sadness with joy as they deny a 23 gem Leoric, taking out much of the sting of this attack. It allows Junkrat Sylvanas, bottom lane, to get the free clear on bot while even building up positive siege pressure in that bot lane. Now, everyone rounding on mid, this is the key moment for Simplicity. They just had their first team fight 1 minute ago. That allowed them to pay. That was like the first 5-on-5 team fight where they actually got a D-shield off.
Oh,
Azerite getting attacked here by Cure.
Outplayed. Azerite was trying to set up something cheeky with the steel trap, and there was the concussion mine underneath him the entire time, which he could have positioned, would have been blasted towards his friendly team. But here, maybe this is the mistake that we had talked about. Cocoon point blank onto Zeratul. Cattle gets away. But now, is there a play onto this entombed, into the cocooned Zeratul? No, there isn't. Entomb... No, doesn't matter. Make has a Haunting Wave, Lurking Arm from Banana. So that was a very good pick-off for the side of Simplicity. Getting a little experience in that kill department, maybe finding an opportunity for a turn-in. 10 seconds are necessary before that's even going to be happening. Burgold getting chunked. The chasing from Cure is going to be here and forces back Cure. I want to mention, though, you had said this already, Grubby, but bottom lane had that positive pressure, and that keep is starting to take a little bit of damage from the catapult that did arrive in that lane, while the turn-in priority is being found through Cure and Legacy. Cure gets rid of those gems, but once again, oh no, it's actually going to be Uther this time. Cure jumping into the backline, trying to make a play, but Uther not available, does have some ghost healing. This is another Web Weaver for Simplicity, but can they find positive siege on this one? We'll see.
Uther going down with 30 gems. I do think those gems were rescued. He wasn't able to cast D-Shield. Didn't get the high five on time. He was at the center of the silence. Not sure that high five would have connected anyway, as when Lucio tippy-toes into silence, it puts silence on full cooldown. It puts high five on full cooldown while not really doing anything. Cure does offload his gems. He had a hole burning in his hand and he was able to lose those gems. However, how much does it really do except just alleviate a bit of pressure? The pickoffs that Chili Mountain got. Oh!
Another PSD support play from Banana as, the flailing swipe does come through. Okay, Cocoon did follow. Righteous Hammer does have the armor reduction, if I'm not mistaken, either. There's going to be the burrow, there's going to be the... Oh my god, everything is thrown onto Cure. He's going to be able to blink away. Sylvanas, though, she uses her own blink, Bolt of the Storm, to be able to chase into Zeratul. Lutano getting chunked once again. Make looking to make sure that this Lutano is going to be going down. Lurking Arm from Banana. But, dear lord, that, once again, Banana Stukov play... I'm sure McIntyre's making note of it, but that was a strong one. What?
Yeah. If Hosty actually got the gems there, I was wondering, like, wow, are you risking too much? He already had a bunch of gems. I don't think he picked up that many either, but it wasn't known to Chili Mountain that he went for that, nor did they really care. They have enough to turn in. They do a turn.
Nice.
-1 kick W.
I think it might be on purpose. They might be mathematicians here.
Okay.
Because it's that whole thing. You want the Web Weaver to push in as the boss is already in lane, and the Web Weaver takes time to spawn, blah, 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 blah. So by the time the boss is arriving into the keep area, the Web Weaver should be arriving as well. Lutano hearthing away. Okay, I was wondering if Lutano would have his hearth animation canceled by respawning on the point and then he's going to get picked off. But no. Okay, here we go. Big siege from Chili Mountain. Can they end off this? This is often what we see to end games, but a huge Buried Alive is going to be stalled out. Zeratul got hit with the Cocoon immediately. Divine Shield onto Zeratul as he's chasing onto Azurite. Azurite is going to be that target. Flailing Swipes do come out, but Cure is going to be able to find the kill into this Junkrat. There's a very low Urel. She's not able to use Ardent Defender, and that is a huge shutdown. Keep will be found, but that's it.
This is insane. Like, did Simplicity finally scale well enough? Question mark, exclamation mark. Is this the time where they suddenly turn it around? Siege Camp mitigated pretty much the entire Web Weaver in the bottom lane. Boss and Web Weaver, the very final gems of Chili Mountain's possession of their treasury, only got a keep. That was pretty much a given with either one of those, Web Weaver or Boss. This was a huge defense by Simplicity. Mid has been entirely saved. The gem count, still looking good. We have 40-ish gems for Simplicity or so, 48. This was a really big defense, and the game has actually been blown wide open again.
I would agree with you, Grubby. I think we're kind of sitting both sides 50-50. I know that there's a win condition through top 4 the side of Chili Mountain, but map pressure is being pushed back by the side of Simplicity consistently. And we talked about wave clear. It's a small map, so wave clear isn't too dramatic. Like, it's not like you have to rotate around Curse Hollow or, God forbid, Warhead Junction. Anyways, we have the fight through mid lane to possibly pop off. Turn availability will be here, but there's a huge burrow in from Anubrak, and Uther is annihilated. He does have redemption. See the golden swirl around his head. That means it's off cooldown and he will respawn.
That is true, but it's still a good takedown, right? Interesting. I find Cattle's judgment so damn good.
Yeah.
Every time he burrow charges in on someone, it seems like he shows up somewhere in a room and he immediately knows the joke to make everyone laugh. He shows up somewhere new, and he just makes his mark, right? He's like, oh, Uther is in max range of my burrow charge. Yes, I'm absolutely going to go for it. Cattle looks like the Anubarax from my game that just made it to Diamond. That burrow charge in at all the wrong times, except they're all the right times.
So what do you call
The surprise for me is the same. I see the burrow charge, I'm like, really? Like, burrow charge in? But it's actually correct. That's how good his judgment is.
You heard it here first, folks. Grubby just called Cattle a Diamond, a Nubarak player. Let's just...
No, what I said. Oh, never mind.
No, I understand you though. I absolutely agree with you because Cattle, like, you sometimes read these like lines that he's going for. You're like, really? You're gonna go for that? And it's like, oh my god, yeah, you're going for it. So I would agree with you absolutely. But turn-in is being denied by Chili Mountain right now. They're making sure they're watching these turn-in points. It's not like GG, well played, go next. But there is well, you can probably potentially shut things down. Buried alive on the right-hand side. Lucio comes through with some high fives. There's a Riptire from Junkrat, and Lutano goes down. First kill in this engagement over to the side of Chili Mountain. Make a little bit low. Death Siphon activated by Hosty on this wall. To keep a lot of members inside of this to keep the damage supplied, and Urel's coming through. Hosty vaults forward to try and kill Azerite, but Azerite able to back away. Anubrak, Cattle, a little far forward on that one there, bud. Is the cocoon available? I don't think it is, but Wailing Arrow to dissuade the enemy side. During all of this, it is going to be turn-in happening for Simplicity.
Oh, yeah. Great job by Simplicity. They get the final 5 gems in. It gives them a chance to deep push. Now, keep in mind that these Web Weavers do depreciate in health over time. And every lane is pretty much pushed. So it is possible that this won't do anything almost. They need a fight. Simplicity needs a fight. They need to win it in order to buy time and push with the Web Weavers. Chili Mountain, not afraid of it though. This is such a confident power play to push forward, even though maybe they could just defend safely. They have been proactively defending. Goes for both teams, by the way. This is a very, very competitive game.
It's a very competitive game so far, and I'm very much enjoying this. Grubby, I just want to make sure, can you hear me? Our comms are getting a little robotic, at least maybe between us. I just want to make sure. You can hear me right?
I hear you perfectly. I don't know how I sound.
Okay, you roboted for a second, but that doesn't matter because another kill into Lutano is going to be happening. Webweavers pushing in through top and bottom. The mid lane already cleared out. Must have been a little bit of a little lag there for a second. Just want to make sure we could hear each other just fine. So Webweavers cleared out. Lutano goes down. I'm just curious, not trying to flame or anything, but that is the 7th death of Leoric. He is being picked off quite consistently.
My God.
Yeah.
Flaming him.
You know me. Grandmaster Bahamut over here.
No, but it's true, and that's a big stat, right? 7 deaths.
Yeah.
That's how many arrows he. No, I don't know. But he's got buried alive now, and Leoric deaths are the least important right now, and also level 22, 23, all the talents are already there. It's going to make a very, very small difference by comparison. It does give 3 gems every now and then. And that does matter a little bit because Chili Mountain is getting close to turn-ins, but he's back already. It all comes down to a team fight. You know that, I know that. Everyone in HoTS knows you can always win or lose the game off the back of a 20-post team fight, no matter the situation. And we're in that moment. Teams are starting to pack it up a bit. They're starting to be a little bit safer here. We no longer see aggressive rotations trying to get that solo kill because any fight could be the last.
One wave is necessary for Chili Mountain to be able to have enough gems for a turn-in, and Urel will find that through top lane, though only 8 gems are sitting in the bank, the rest of it sitting in the pockets of Chili Mountain, as this is looking like, Cure maybe getting scouted out there, but he was invisible. There's going to be an Entomb on the right-hand side of our screen. There's going to be a big dive. Invulnerable and D-Shield. Sylvanas goes down. Hosty fighting that kill. Cocoon onto this Vala, but she's A-okay, and things are slowly falling apart for Chili Mountain as Simplicity has built up the momentum on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we talked about I don't know what the conversation will look like between us when we say, all right, Simplicity, they're going to end game number 3 and take us to a map number 4, but maybe this is it. Maybe it isn't those massive entombs. Maybe it's a single entomb with a Zeratul burst and no way to counteract the burst of the play, because all of the tools utilized once that entomb comes out are defensive. It's not aggressive. It's not damage meeting damage. It's damage meeting some sort of support or utility to save the person inside the entomb.
Yeah, and she couldn't get away. No bolts, no haunting wave, no no Will of the Forsaken, buried alive, stuck inside there, fully relying on counter CC. But with D-Shield, there was a nice step to get around that. With Cleanse, there's a nice step to get around that and make sure that the damage sticks. So I can't believe it. Simplicity is actually in that future where they do come back.
Single target buried alive. Some Simplicity have been very on point in this game. Number 3 Tomb, and now Boss is marching towards core. Simplicity has the advantage, and they're going to look to try and end game here. Righteous Hammer knocks back the Zeratul, I think, for a second there. Riptire from Junkrat comes out. As a reminder, no extra oomph, so this is more or less just zoning. Anubrak goes in for the big backline dive, but was it too much? He actually pops the rewind to get away. There's going to be a Divine Shield onto Zeratul as Make is on the left-hand side of our screen trying to disengage. Boss is finding some damage onto core. Yrel does go down to Lior. Cure trying to chunk onto this core, has to blink away. Cattle goes down, 40-some gems on the ground, and this is going to be game number 3. Over to the side of Simplicity, shutting down the expectations of the casters, as well as many others, I would assume, and they continue this best of 5 series, putting themselves on the board for through Tomb the Spider Queen. Well played from Simplicity. No 3-0 for our first best of 5 of the day. Grubby, this was a phenomenal game number 3. Well played from both sides, but Simplicity finding their win condition in the latter half of the game.
The very definition of scaling. Zeratul 16, Hopium, Zeratul 20, and I can't believe we're in this timeline to actually come back from that. I laid out the groundworks for that without believing it one shred, but they've actually done it. Chili Mountain riding their momentum all the way until that level 20 fight at the boss with the Web Weavers, with the proactive defense of Simplicity. That's where it was turned. Boss and Web Weaver on half keep and 2 keeps was supposed to be the glory moment for Chili Mountain. They could have spread out and tried to slow play it and say, hey, the boss and Web Weaver will take down top keep. We also want second keep, by the way, or third keep. But they went with it. They said, we're going to 5-on-5 this, and we're going to go for the core after we get this keep. Boss and Web Weaver is enough. Well, it wasn't. Simplicity with the spectacular comeback. And McIntyre, could any other Zeratul than Cura have done this, you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the Zeratul build that he went allowed this kind of strategy to come into play, and as you said, scale, right? They were able to hit level 20, and then his ability to kind of double blink in onto the back line, follow up that Entomb, that silenced out the Sylvanas, and put a full combo onto the Sylvanas, and then possibly Wormhole back, and then Vorpal back, and then he has the D-Shield now, and all of a sudden, there's nothing you can do to kind of stop him from punching that Sylvanas. I definitely think that the build helps for that combo and that kind of strategy, right? And I feel like Simplicity able to get to that state in the game where they do achieve that scaling is exactly why they were able to win this game. I think a lot of it was on, in my opinion, Chili Mountain's kind of ability to hit those talent advantage windows. There were a lot of times in the early game, 8-10, there was an 8-10 window where Chili Mountain had the heroic advantage, and got very little because they were splitting. They were so focused on that experience and gaining it rather than getting the structure advantage. The same happened around the 14-16, where Chili Mountain was ahead again in talents, unable to get any keep on that window, which in my mind, with a Sylvanas on your team, I think is a misplay, right? Especially if you pair it with a boss. And now the window of let's get the boss, let's get the turn in is found off of the back of, I think, Banana H making a massive play again. However, when the turn in happened, when the boss happened, because of the speed at which it happened, as you said, Simplicity able to hit level 20, able to get those talents. That they had a very strong level 20 composition, and just forcing a fight onto the side of Chili Mountain. They're now on their back foot. They're pressured into their base, and a second Entomb Zeratul combo on that Sylvanas to end the game in favor of Simplicity. I mean, it's a well-navigated game for sure by them, getting to the late game, getting to that scaling. That is what the Zeratul comp wants to do. I think there were some moments where it seemed like it wasn't happening, but, able to stall out enough to open that window up and, seize it.
We'll have to start calling Simplicity Magellan, as they are very good at navigating some of these maps. And let's continue this conversation, but let's actually find out where we're going to go to for our next map as well in this first best of 5 of the day. We're heading off to Towers of Doom. This is going to be the map choice of Simplicity, as Chili Mountain has opted in for first pick priority as the losing team. More stats for you all at home. This is the worst map for Chili Mountain. And I say worst map as in Chili Mountain is 1-5. I'm not missaying things. They have 1 win, 5 losses. We're on the opposing side. This is the second best map for Simplicity, as they are 3-1, 3 wins, 1 loss on this map. So Simplicity, just as Chili Mountain has done their homework, Simplicity, great transition, has done their homework as well, and they're taking Chili Mountain to what is considered, by statistical analysis, their worst map in HeroesCCL. But, you know, we've talked about this throughout the day. Chili Mountain is a different team today, and they believe that they can beat Simplicity. We'll have to see if it's through this map. The one thing I wanted to ask you about that last game, and we can just talk about this a little bit. It was because we talked a lot about Cure's Zeratul, but we didn't talk about Lutano's Leoric. It did die 7 times. Yeah, that happened. But there was
a Leoric thing.
Exactly, and that's the thing, is because you can cheat death, you can come back faster, and you can respawn in the middle of the battle. The buried alives, I think, were the best fishing ever. Like, it was just Lutano being like, I'm going fishing, and I got someone, Cure, go in and make the play. And the Divine Shields were on point as well, coming out from Hosty, if I'm not mistaken. So, or excuse me, no, I believe it was Masquerade who was on the main tank. So I think it was a really good team effort, and I also want to give credit to Lutano, because it was a hard carry through Cure once that 20 hit to get those kills and the damage scaling, the burst, blah blah blah. But it's the fishing, it's throwing that rod out there, putting the right bait on it, and finding that kill or the setup for the Zeratul. As there is no way Chili Mountain's gonna let that Zeratul through early at all. But we're here, we're ready to go. Towers of Doom, map number 4. Will Chili Mountain close that out in this one, or does Simplicity start to roll things back and maybe reverse sweep Chili Mountain, Grubby?
They've never had to do it yet in the season, as far as I remember, and they've just made the first step of 3 to come back from 0-2. Very impressive. They definitely could. By now, suddenly, they have a little bit of confidence to build on.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm also looking at that Zeratul ban, and someone in Twitch chat said, teams always allow Cure to have Zeratul once per series, and then they start banning it again.
This is great. This is an incredible map for Zeratul too. Like, Towers of Doom is like the Zeratul map. There's so many angles, there's so much space, like ways to blink in, right? Ways to annoy. Definitely a map to ban it on. I think the response ban from Simplicity, though, is super important. Falstad, a character that's great at following a Falstad around, is a Zeratul. Not being able to take that and banning the Falstad away, right? They no longer have to worry about that split pressure that Chili Mountain kind of anchors a lot of their strategy on. And Chili Mountain going with that Junkrat first pick again. Simplicity this time, though, going to show off the Stukov. Has had a lot of success, obviously not in the last game, but just a very strong support character. Will Chili Mountain respond with a Lucio?
Could go Brightwing. Sorry, I was trying to look up the stats for Legacy on Stukov really quickly, and it's 7-1, 7 wins, 1 loss on this Stukov. So sitting in a comfortable place on that one. But now we go into the Junkrat. A lot of things are open. What do they want to synergize? There's the Brightwing, and it's going to be Diablo. Okay, is this a body check Garrosh, Grubby? Do we see any sort of healing reduction from?
Yeah.
You know.
It's still bannable in theory.
True.
I mean, we got to think about, do you want to ban Masquerade's Garrosh, or will he still be just fine on a Nubarak or May, perhaps, in this composition?
That's true.
You look at a complex Stukov May Blaze that feels so unkillable almost. Of course, it's not. Love the Leoric ban there. He was very strong so far in this series. I think Leoric won both games, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
You are right. Yep.
Good ability. Yep.
Is there any consideration into is Simplicity considering like a Deathwing for this map or something like that? Because in Tombs, Leoric, it's just really annoying to deal with. Walls. To quote Grubby from Season 1, walls are Deathwing's worst enemy.
I mean, I think with the Diablo 2, the Entomb and the Diablo charge is something that it seems like Chili Mountain it's a little strategy of theirs too. So I think just taking it away, but I'm not really sure if they're activating on any certain pick. I will say that Stukov is pretty terrible at supporting someone that is stuck inside of an Entomb, and we saw that kind of last game. And Tyrael is a great way to kind of give a second support to whoever gets entombed, right? I'm sure if the Tyrael gets entombed, then we have another question to ask ourselves, but Tyrael Zul'jin, let's see, is Hosty able to stack it up here? Is Chili Mountain now going to kind of transition to a comp where they want to stay away? They have the Junkrat. They don't really have to play super in their face. They don't have to give Hosty those stacks. Choose to go the option of let's fight then, let's scrap. I'm going to pick up Cassia, possibly going to stack up themselves with the 2 talent level 1 and the Yrel. The offlane I think is a great pick, just overall always. Yrel will be amazing in the offlane. Not sure where Lutano goes in the last pick though. Tracer, he can play some mobile assassin.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of
but Tracer into Cassia, Polymorph, Brightwing.
Kills Junkrat.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if you want to play the Tracer into them. It's gonna be the Green God.
That's what you love to see. Thrall's good everywhere, always, and forever. Yeah, he does everything. He also destroys Diablo, guys. He's so good against Diablo. Every time Diablo wants to Q you, it is so telegraphed. And Thrall's Wolf, you just point it towards him. Just point it somewhere in the screen vicinity of where the Diablo is, and it will connect. And at 16,
I just have this.
Go ahead.
I have this future vision of McIntyre being dragged away to the madhouse and just being like, he destroys Diablo, guys.
I swear it's so good.
It's so good. You go green, lightning at level 1, you get the percent, you hit blood for blood on him. Diablo is your second health pool. And another thing that Diablo hates, and he has no tools to help him with, is getting kind of out in the middle without any mobility. And Earthquake is an ability that just keeps him, on the ground, right? He dives in, you hit Earthquake, and then he's like, okay, I can't walk away anymore. What am I supposed to do? I assume Diablo Cattle will go the Lightning Breath and kind of hold his ground. But at that point, you have a Zul'jin, you have a Tyrael. These are people that are like, sure, stand still for us. We'd appreciate that. I'm going to give this one Simplicity. I really like this draft, not necessarily because of the Thrall, just because of how it came together. There's a lot of powerful tools here, a lot of natural synergies. We'll be excited to see if they can keep running this back here against Chili Mountain. Game number 4.
Alrighty, McIntyre, thank you for your breakdown and your vote for Thrall as we are getting into map number 4. We are here into Towers of Doom with Simplicity, trying to make the run back happen, trying to make some sort of reverse sweep into the enemy side of Chili Mountain. Kira on the Blaze, Lutano on the Thrall, Hosty on the Zul'jin, Legacy on the Stukov, and Masquerade on the Tyrael. Over in the red, Chili Mountain, same as the last map, trying to close things out in a 3-1 fashion. Banana on the Brightwing, Azrat on the Cassia, Cattle on the Diablo, Junkrat playing, Make on the Junkrat, and Burglet on the Yrel. Now, I do want to point out one quick thing that McIntyre forgot to mention, and that is there is a Cassie on the opposing side, and Rolling Thunder requires you to hit the enemy hero as well. So if you're blinded, that hit don't count. All I'm saying, I'm voting Chili Mountain win. What do you got for us here, Grubby? What are your thoughts, breakdown, analysis, or even maybe prediction for a win?
Q build Zul'jin with the intent of bypassing the armor of Cassia. And the Diablo can get with his level 4, though I suspect he's going to go for the Fire Stomp talent. And does Yrel get any armor? Oh yeah, Dauntless. So Dauntless 35, Cassia 30. Hosty's going to bypass that with Q. It does mean he's not stacking as much from the Recklessness, but it makes him have a very strong level 16.
It's very true.
I like Tyrael Zul'jin a whole of a lot more than Tyrael Hammer. Even though Hammer that they showed in game 1 is like a cool tech.
Yeah.
A cool tech build where it's like, 40% move speed because of Hover Siege, 80% with Tyrael. Almost as fast as a hero, right? With that long range. But I like this more. Hosty's gonna have a good time with it. He loves this hero. He looked really good on it. His team is allowing him to take it again. Pure had his fun on Zeratul last game, and now it's Hosty getting his Zul'jin. I think it's a strong team. But I also believe in Chili Mountain's draft. I think it's very even.
Very close. Maybe you want to change your opinion as we do see a Cassie getting picked off in bottom lane, but I agree with you.
Simplicity, 100%.
Simplicity has played this in the past, the Zul'jin, but it's been it's got a 100% win rate. 2 maps, them being both Tomb of the Spider Queen. So it's a new showing, and I know Simplicity outside of Tomb has been kind of not weary, they haven't been the most excited to show it outside of Tomb, so this is going to be Hosty's place where he needs to showcase his Zul'jin. Otherwise, Simplicity will sit there and say, Hosty, it's all your fault. No, just kidding. He will be able to disengage Concussion by not pulling him back, but it is a lot on the shoulders of Hosty, but on those shoulders, he's currently sitting at 8 stacks out of the 30 which is also an uncapped for the scaling and damage. The big thing, 15 stacks, will be the 1.1 range increase, giving him 6.6 range, and the 30 stacks will give him the double revolve on the twin cleave.
In the meantime, he's not the only member of the Horde that's scaling. Lutano, with 5 stacks on his wolf already, gets 6 stacks, and you never lose it. Miss one before it, or die, and you lose it for the time being. That's interesting. I wonder if Blizzard's ever going to introduce quest talents that you can only have 1 life to complete. Not only do you lose stacks when you die, but you're never allowed to do it again.
So like it's like a variation on the mortgage talents we have.
Mortgage Gambit. Yeah, it's like convection, except when you fail once, you are a failure forever.
Or even Medivh stacks, but right now Zul'jin does get picked off. Thrall finishes out his level 4 during all of this. Look, all I'm going to say, Grubby, is Blizzard said it was a lone talent, then they called it a Gambit, so I'm going to call it mortgage talents because, you know, I'm sure Twitch chat will love that. Why? Because I like to annoy Twitch chat.
I hate I hate these terms. But wolves are completed. The prophecy of McIntyre, the love for Thrall, the power, currently it is unlocked. He's going to get wolves on a much shorter cooldown. They're going to be a 6-second cooldown instead of 12. Let's see how many shadow charges of Caterpillar he can actually stop with that.
And just really quickly, Ancestral Wrath, the one that McIntyre was talking about. This is the McIntyre build that he always gets excited about. Rolling Thunder, Frostwolf Pack, and then this Ancestral Wrath. Activate to consume 8 stacks of Ancestral Wrath, damaging a target enemy hero for 15% of their maximum health over 3 seconds. And the healing for Thrall for 150 of the damage dealt. There you go. You also gain 1 stack of Ancestral Wrath every time a Frostwolf Resilience activates. So it's not like it's activate constantly, just if anyone's wondering how that utility is utilized, because we talk about it a lot, we don't see Thrall a ton.
Yeah, and according to McIntyre, we should see it more, this game may be quite influential in Thrall picks when it comes to playing into Diablo. Not just the Tychuses into Diablo, but also control. Oh my god, a 4-man route! GG. She's got a 4-man route.
If he was still working on those quests, it would have been easily done, but that also does build up that blood for blood availability, so just keep that in mind as well. But objective phase is up and available. Yrel, Blaze in mid lane. It's 4v4 in this bottom. Zul'jin poking in. Doesn't have the 15 stacks just yet. Actually just hit his 12th out of the 15 necessary. And just waiting. Boss did cackle 5 minutes into the game, so that's up and available. And now, Alter, ready to go. Let's see what the rotations look like. Blaze, Yrel coming in, 5v5.
Okay. Thrall's locked down together with Blaze. Look at all those free hits Hosty is getting. Is it free though?
Hosty trying to back
He's trying
away.
to run away. 60 life. He goes down.
Good fend from Cassia coming in. Also massive Righteous Hammer from Bergold into Cure and Friends. Cure finds the Jet Propulsion. There's going to be a lurking arm from the Stukov and Cassia to be traded out. Now Lutano split from the friendly team, but it's going to be a focus on to Legacy on this Stukov as he goes down. A bit of a bloodbath as Junkrat gets picked off. Cattle finishes out Souls. Lutano may be a target. Is going to be able to poke out, throws up that Feral Spirit, and I think we have a bit of a delay. Zul'jin already coming back from the Hall of Storms as the death timers, Grubby, are very low. 10 talent here is in favor for the side of this blue team Simplicity.
This is a very good fight here by Simplicity. Lutano is doing so much damage in that backline. There's the next route. Bang, bang, bang. Caterpillar almost drops below 75% health. But importantly, the altar has been channeled. Simplicity finds parity, even as they're a little bit ahead in experience.
I'm sorry, I looked over at admin chat for 1 second and I just see Sunder Depression from McIntyre. We all know how much he loves Earthquake, and that's the big thing. But Sundering, like we've seen it in the past when we've had Thralls, it's a really good cutoff tool or even setup tool for potential kills.
Yeah, I want to see Sundering level 20. 30 seconds cooldown for Sundering. That leaves an impassable chasm. Yeah, an impassable chasm that people cannot cross without extra mobility. That can be a nice isolation into Diablo. Going for the Tyrael here. There's the Sundering to split the sea. 5-member stun. It also removes Cassia's armor, so there's something cool. And it interrupts Riptire, so it has a lot of utility here. They're going full on for Azerite. He's in a full retreat. Riptire with the disengage, and Azerite stays alive thanks to that Riptire peel.
Peel was able to push back the enemy members with said Riptire, one sapper with like 2 HP in this bottom lane being walked up. Lutano throws a Feral Spirit into that and will be able to get the root plus the kill onto that unit. And just peeking, Hosty does have the range increase as they're sitting at 19 out of their 30 stacks necessary. Great Concussion Mine, Lurking Arm. It doesn't matter if it's a good Concussion Mine. Sanctification, the button was pressed. That's all I'll say about that one.
Yeah, it was pressed, it procced, it
did stuff.
It wasn't necessary, but it's fine. Like, I can see how you might be worried that you don't get the full kill. You just want to make sure you can keep moving on with the damage you're dealing there. This is most likely going to be a one-on-one split anyway. I don't think either team ever wants to contest the opponent's objective here, whether or not you're one up, one down. You never have enough time at this stage in the game. So let's see if Sanct's cooldown becomes an issue, but overall, a mistake, not going to be too impactful.
Yeah.
28-28, level 12-12, game goes on.
You had mentioned this in our previous weeks when we've been casting Grubby about, you know, invading that left-hand side, how it's really difficult. The enemy team can often poke out indefinitely. And in the games I've casted in our time off in CCL, the games I've watched, the games I've even played myself, I've attempted it once or twice, and it is exactly that case. Oh, wait, there's no sanctification right here for 25 seconds. Is this going to be a kill in a Masquerade? No. So then there's no worry. If there was a kill, then it would have been like, ooh, that just happened. Also, there was some sundering from Thrall just now, but either way, you've made the point in the past, and I've actually gotten to experience it. I've watched it. It's not worthwhile. So there's my PSA Twitch chat. When you have those moments, even though you got that kill, just trade out those altars, go back to rotations. It's not worth, you know, potentially staggering out and dying. But a virulent reaction onto Cattle almost finds the kill. He does have his soul shield proc, as you heard that little audio for it, and now he tries to put pressure onto Lutano and Hosty with Azerite on the backline onto Legacy. Wow. Good pick and peel.
Yeah, that's actually going to be really big. There's the Sanctification gave like a frame of invulnerability against for Zul'jin. Maybe it's enough. Oh, Riptire comes in. 95 health or so, 90 health. That little frame of Sanct actually ended up saving him, but Chili Mountain was able to be so aggressive because they were able to take down Stukov. Yeah. Azerite got punished sometimes with his forward positioning, but in this case, his aggression was 100% merited, getting that Stukov kill there. We'll be back on time though, Stukov.
Okay, Cure gets scouted out mid, a little bit of poke from Azerite. We have the Gotta Trap 'em all level 13 from Make, as you're seeing a lot more steel traps on the ground. Brightwing gets the channel in the mid position, and this is going to be Chili Mountain stepping in, trying to fire stomp for a delay, but it's actually Make with the little frag launcher grenade to slow things out or stall things out as more steel traps are being put in this bottom area. Cure healing up. Great bunker.
Nice bunker.
Amazing bunker coming out from Cure right there to mitigate the shadow charge from Cattle.
Yeah. Wow, Lutano able to be so aggressive. He still has that sundering. He actually takes a 1v5, baits himself, he's fine. Stukov not so much. Cattle actually manages to push him into a trap.
Phase shift onto Azerite will be able to keep this Cassie alive as Burgle goes in for a Righteous Hammer. Our defender will be used. Cure misses the jet propulsion, and our defender gets a little bit of HP. Riptire is going to find the rest of Hosty's HP, and this is a little bit, I would say it's a little bit of a shutdown onto the Zul'jin here and there. Still building out those stacks, 27 out of the 30, but just shutting him down, getting this objective. Oh, no. They're not going, I wouldn't say greedy play, they're going for the smart play, because there's 2 dead. Yeah. There's no way Simplicity wants to invade onto this. So Banana and crew, they get an extra shot out. But now in top lane, there's a dive onto Urel with no Ardent Defender, and Banana gets the phase shift in time.
Okay. Delays the altar, but that's fine. That will delay the next altar phase.
Yes.
Is that a good thing, a bad thing? I don't know. It probably doesn't matter too much. You don't know which team that's necessarily better for. It does bring us to a question, somewhat unrelated. Who has the better level 20?
I do.
You have the better. Good. Damn, I thought it was me, but no. Well done. Bahamut scaling.
Yeah.
But really though, which team has the better level 20?
Looking at it, you've got you have Zul'jin maybe going for the upgrade. You have Holy Ground, so that's extra damage if I'm not mistaken. You got Massive Show.
Yeah, the Holy Arena gets
you.
25% damage, 1 second. You get
I like Chili Mountain still.
Chili Mountain, they get Cassia Armor or Infinite Law Bite. I don't think you go Infinite Ball Lightning because Sanct can just block it.
True. And that would just, I believe that shuts it off too.
Yeah, it's gone, right? No CDR, no nothing. Invisible Friends, Diablo gets a blink, Junkrat gets maybe the Riptire repeat or the Cannonball. Urel gets Seraphim. I think it's pretty even, to be honest. Maybe better for Chili, but the fight is going on. Bunker and Sanct overlaid here. That was Taz Dingo as well. Hosty attacking with 450 life. It actually works out. The turnaround kill here, thanks to the silence of Legacy. No Ardent Defender coming out here. Azurite getting popped again. He's now at 4 deaths. He's the major target. 66% of the deaths here on Chili Mountain. Of course, he would be the one that is going to get focused. He has to play on the front line in order to be most effective. And Stukov has been shutting him down big time.
It was such a good engagement. It's like the Ardent Defender, I was looking at the cooldown, I was watching it. It was 2 seconds from when they stepped in. I was like, do you die before you have the availability of Ardent Defender? No, it was the lurking arm from Legacy that stopped that from happening. Now there's going to be a virulent reaction onto Cattle, who's actually, I think, delaying out left-hand side. Brightwing gets the right-hand side channel. Make trying to delay things out as well. Thrall goes in the bottom lane. I don't think you make the rotation to the bottom quick enough here to stall out the Thrall, and I don't think you make the left-hand play. So this is going to be 8 shots into the core of Chili Mountain, but Simplicity still taking 4 damage, and this map is a little bit closer. This is one of the reasons, Grubby, I love Towers of Doom. It is anyone's game in the sense of one bell tower phase could be, could flip an entire game on its head based off of the team fight. Like a great team fight late game, you can't win in a single objective phase, and you keep losing them over and over and over, even though you only needed one more. I'm not speaking from personal experience or anything, but
no, of course not.
No one's ever had that experience on Towers of Doom.
No, we know how to close out games. It's other players that struggle with that. Yeah.
Just don't look at my match history.
Backdoor. Yeah. Just don't look. Please.
So objective phase will be single in the center of the map, and I think it's going to be a little bit of just back and forth right now, maybe trying to soak up for 20, but mostly on the side of Chili Mountain, I think closing that slight half-level lead over to the side of Simplicity.
And Simplicity is able to be quite aggressive, actually. They bring in their Cure, but look, he's still playing out of vision, right? Lutano's probably going to eat the trap in order to make sure that Blaze can come in. But there is Urel as well. Burgold has revealed the Blaze flank. But that means that Azurite Maka are going to be positioning more safely. Just throwing out trap after trap to make sure that the angle of the flank is going to get covered.
But mid? Okay, I saw Lutano coming up and Cure was already here, and I was like, you got Collision Course, which is just that talent is 685. I think it's like somewhere in like the 90-ish damage. Like Jet Propulsion baseline doesn't do a lot, yeah. So you're adding in like 90 extra damage, just 90 from Jet Propulsion. It's actually 110 right now.
Yeah, okay.
So it's 110 plus 685, 795, about 900 damage. So that's still a chunk of Brightwing's health as she has a 3,000 HP pool. So you're doing nearly a third of her health with 1 Jet Propulsion, so I thought the Thrall could have come in to make a play, but I think Chili Mountain backs away and just goes for 20 soak, eating 4 shots from the enemy side.
Yeah, they're too close to level 20 on the side of Simplicity for Chili Mountain to feel like they have any kind of decent window. Diablo gets comboed here. Very quick Soul Shield. There's the Blink. There's the Silence. It's fine. Cattle has been hitting those Soul Shield timings really well right before he gets comboed, and you don't get to take second chances on that. Sundering on Junkrat. He feels like Maka was a bit far forward. I felt the same. Good cleanse though by Banana H. Nice try by Lutano.
And in all of this, Burgolt on the Urel is doing a phenomenal job of rotating between top and mid. Not actually showing was setting up in the bush near the Sapper camp on the right, and that did push the 20 talent here over to the side of Chili Mountain. Against all of our thoughts here, Grubby, it's going to be Infinite Ball Lightning for the Cassia, Hellgate for the Diablo, Cannonball, Junkrat. But now, hold on, we're going to be going into a fight. This is also Holy Arena from the Tyrael. On the top of our screen, we'll see Burgolt and Lutano fighting out. Bunker did come down, and that was just a little bit of a poke and maybe even just a pull of that heroic from the enemy side. But unfortunately, Grubby, it's not going to be the World Breaker, I believe. It's going to be your Wind Rush.
Yeah, Bolt of the Storm, Wind Rush, the safe choice. He just used it, should be worth noting, by the way. He has it on a cooldown of 60 seconds by now.
Righteous Hammer, Apocalypse coming in. Massive shove onto Cattle. There's going to be the Sanctification coming out. Azurite taking a lot of damage. Does get the Blink Heal from Banana. There's going to be a Jump Propulsion from Blaze connecting onto a few enemy members. Ardent Defender used by Urel. There's going to be a Lurking Arm from the Stukov with the Virulent Reaction, but it only catches Burgolt, who heals up to full. A big explosive team fight, Grubby, that's yielding nothing. Not even some big changes into health pools, but now Tyrael getting chunked for 50%. Thrall trying to put some pressure onto Azurite. Here misses the Jump Propulsion. This is a massive shove from Legacy onto Cattle, which forces Cattle all the way near their bottom lane bell tower. But the fight will continue, Grubby, as the single altar phase is up and available.
Junkrat now putting out a lot of damage with that build. He still has Amani Resilience. They're going to go for the Thrall. He doesn't have Bolt yet. He does Sundering. It's not enough. Infinite Ball Lightning coming out. There is no bunker out at the moment. Sanctification is down already. Masquerade trying to run away. He has 190 health. Make, start your engines. The Riptire. But he gets popped by Hosty. Has enough space been created for Chili Mountain to take this altar? And it looks like the answer is yes.
They're going to do exactly that. There was a Hearth out from Brightwing. She's going to probably go to top lane to clear things out. No, just getting full on mana. Actually, she's got Phase Shift up and available and is already back into lane. Okay, I thought she was just going for the defensive play, but no, Grubby. It's the aggressive play. It is back into bottom lane. The siege continues. Sapper camps are up in 45 on the left, and the one on the right, I believe, just respawned. And now Simplicity. Are they going to make the boss play? They're moving up as a group towards boss, but maybe it's a Sapper camp for top. Yeah.
Okay, Sapper Camp for bottom lane and Sapper Camp for top, the consolation prize. If Simplicity actually moves on top of the fort, most ASAPly, in a most ASAPly fashion, they could try to run those Sappers in over the finish line, but it is risky. We even had Burgold and Caterpillars standing there for the flank. A little bit away from their team, but enough to buy enough time to cut them off on the side. They're just going to take the Sapper Camp, go bottom, defend, likewise against this Sapper Camp.
Now, Grubby, if my math serves me right, which sometimes it doesn't and does, if this next objective phase, while this bottom lane bell tower is still held for Chili Mountain, if Chili Mountain gets both of the altars while still having bottom lane in control, it's GG's for Chili Mountain, as it would be 5 shots from left and right. But it is that left-right position, as we were talking a little bit earlier today, that's a very difficult one to step into. Personally, I think Chili Mountain zones back the side of Simplicity, takes their right side, and continues to play the map. I don't think you need this over-aggressiveness, but here we have a fight breaking out. The camp is now being grabbed. Phase Shift comes in from the Brightwing. Bunker comes down from Blaze. No Sanctification used yet. No Toss Dingo either, so only the Bunker. 70 so seconds cooldown onto that, as Ball Lightning is 10 seconds off. Oh, Grubby, it's a tense one. Do you want to get into comms for this?
Yeah, let's go Simplicity comms.
Here we go.
Oh, it's scary.
I'm showing bot.
I click. I'm not clicking.
They're all in.
Okay.
Asuka.
He's in big trouble, guys.
Nice.
Nice, nice. Center here. Kinda big.
Yeah, I'm on Cattle.
Cattle 1.
I got blue.
I'm
He's gonna be on me next. He's gonna be on me next.
Can anyone get that?
Oh, I
It's
can't.
you.
I'm dead. Maybe you guys can win.
I'm gonna sub.
Okay, I'm on a Cattle.
Anyway.
Burger next. Burger
I
next.
can't.
Hype
I'm on
backwards.
Burger.
Hype backwards.
I can't see him.
Legacy's in big trouble here.
I'm fine.
Remember, guys, this ends. We cannot give cap.
Hit it.
It's fine.
You're not capping yet. Maybe I
I need you to go.
This ends the game, guys.
You need
This
to go,
ends the game.
go.
Oh my god.
We need a break.
I'm reducing damage.
Oh, fuck.
I don't think I should have went bot.
GG.
Yeah.
Grubby, the fight wasn't really looking the best. Well, actually, it was looking pretty good, but now this is going to be all 5 members of the side of Simplicity going down. And Chili Mountain, they'll find the 5 shots necessary.
Wow.
The GGs are called, and Chili Mountain, on their worst record map, will take game number 4 against Simplicity, put Simplicity in the lower bracket on tournament life for HeroesCCL Season 2, while Chili Mountain continues to, I wouldn't say coast, but they make their way into the upper bracket semifinals. Congratulations to Chili Mountain, Grubby. This was phenomenally well played by Chili Mountain, and they were expecting this win. They said it in the Oxygen winning interview, or excuse me, when they beat Oxygen, they said this in the interview, they believed they could do it, and here they performed beyond my expectations personally.
Chili Mountain 3-0 Wildheart, 3-2 Oxygen, and now 3-1 Simplicity. They are suddenly taking that number 1 most likely looking favorite title from Simplicity, and they have crowned themselves with it in anticipation of the rest of the playoffs. It's just one step so far, but taking on Simplicity and winning 3-1 here is just spectacular. Spectacular. Simplicity was just starting their comeback as well. They looked good this game. They won the last game, but Chili Mountain is just vibing right now.
Mm-hmm. To quote a very good Tracer player, they are very much just vibing. But we got McIntyre back into this one. I'm sorry about the Green God. I'm sorry.
He didn't take Earthquake, guys. He didn't take Earthquake. If you're gonna take Sunder, do something with it. I feel like it's like every time I see a Thrall take Sunder, it's good if you do something with it. But a lot of the times, I feel like Thralls get into a position where they're kind of in trouble, and Sunder is not the answer. Earthquake is typically the answer, and we saw time and time again here. I mean, Lutana was getting picked by Cattle. He was kind of eating him alive, right? Especially in the late game stages of the map, which in my mind, Towers of Doom is a late game map. So those are the situations that you need to win in order to win the game. And time again, not only were the Sunder windows poor, but not having Bolt getting picked there on that middle shrine. And then even at the very end, right, he said he had a big Sunder, but in reality, no one was around and nothing happened from it. If he had just pressed Earthquake, it would have done 5 damage, whatever damage it does. It would have broken the channel, given them time, kind of given them a little bit of stall, and then maybe positioned for a team fight. But yeah, I mean, overall, like Grubby, you were just saying, I think Chili Mountain is just super vibing right now. They seem on top of it, even with a composition that has a Stukov, has a Tyrael, so many defensive tools, even a Sunder, a Bunker. There are so many defensive tools, and time again in these team fights, able to find picks off that Diablo charge combo. Azurite on that Cassia continues to impress me. It seems like he's near impossible to take down. Just W King his way to a victory. Yeah, Chili Mountain playing exceptional Heroes of the Storm here and taking Simplicity down 3-1.
Chili Mountain will find that victory, and we will actually get a wonderful interview with Make right now. Make, can you hear us, my friend? How you feeling?
Yes, I can. I'm feeling good. Feeling really good.
I can only imagine, like, what is your heart rate at right now after that last objective phase on Towers of Doom?
I mean, after we get the first kill, we were kind of like, we won this, just chill. Like, we were 5 versus 4, like, just chill it. Like, we were 50 seconds, and yeah, it was kind of calm, actually.
Wow,
but
okay,
I mean, obviously, we're hyped for the win, but like the voice comms were like kind of chill in the end. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much time. I want to throw it over to Grubby for a question or two as well.
Chili Mountain, Maka, you guys are on a 3-match win streak right now. You don't seem to have lost any of your power in the 2 weekends break. If anything, you guys look even stronger. How have you spent the last 2 weeks preparing for this match in particular? And how much was Simplicity your main focus, or was it the whole playoffs? You didn't prepare at all. You're laughing.
I mean, if we're being honest, like 2 weeks we went to Paris. And then me and Bergold went to a friend's summer house for the last 5 days. We've been drinking. So preparing-wise, we haven't played a scrim since the gauntlet. So I think that's good. Everyone was like we were back and we were just vibing. We took. I think when we have no pressure, we just play really good because everyone is like, we haven't practiced. Let's see how it goes, and then like everyone is just on point. So. But obviously we've been still playing HoTS because we went to LAN, and you still play HoTS, but we haven't prepared in the CCL team at all since the gauntlet. But I mean, we just kept playing our game, and I think everyone stepped up, and I mean, we're all good players, so I think everyone kept their mechanics on point. But I think we have a very good understanding of the game, and there wasn't really a big patch between like when we had the break, so nothing huge was like changing in the meta, so I think it was still fine.
Okay.
I think it's very wise. You guys may not have a sports psychologist, but I don't think he would disagree with your methods of relaxing, spending time together, and being in a good mood and just going in relaxed. I think you guys did a great job with that.
Yeah.
McIntyre, any questions for Make here?
Yeah, so I'm curious. Game number 1, you take Garrosh Zarya. And they respond with a hammer pick. How are you guys feeling going against the hammer? how do you, as the Zarya player, kind of navigate that? I saw a lot of the time you be stepping up. Is it controlling the energy? How do you, just for the viewers watching, how do you navigate a game against Sergeant Hammer on a map like Battlefield of Eternity?
So I think that the point was we don't go for Hammer. We kill their front line. Because we were never going to reach Hammer, we're never going to reach the backline. Like, we just toss the first thing we see, and then we play off that. And then I kind of went Q-build Zarya, so like I was just chunking Hammer with my Qs. And that like kind of does the work, because then it needs to be a bit more passive. Like, I'm not the greatest Zarya player, I'm just speeding my tank and shielding myself and trying to, just playing our game. Killing frontline and not doing too many funky stuff.
So it is not pile on for the Twitch chat. It is not pile all your CDs into Hammer and kill Hammer, right? We are focusing whoever we can hit that isn't Hammer.
Yes, I think
Okay.
that is the idea.
Well, thank you so much for the informative interview, as well as some tips for our Storm League friends out there. Before I let you run out of here and enjoy your win, are there any shoutouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours, Make.
Shout out to my team. We've been doing great. I enjoy playing with all of these guys. Shout out to you guys for casting. And then I want to do a big shout out actually to Shilrog and Chili Mountain. When we went to Paris, he whispered me before on Discord, we have this amazing new merch drop. And like, I've been asking everyone at Paris about like, what do you feel about our clothes? Like, do you like the stuff we're wearing? And everyone didn't understand, like, this is actually Chili Mountain merchandise. And it's like, it was really good clothing. So go to chilimountain.com and get your Chili Mountain merch right now.
Everyone likes it. One of my viewers was telling me yesterday, she was like, I got my Chili Mountain gear on. I'm going to be rooting for him on Saturday. So thank you so much for joining us for the informative interview. Enjoy your win, and we'll see you tomorrow in the winners final up against, well, we'll find out in a little bit. But congratulations once again, Make, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Oh man, it's always great to get a little information, and I gotta say, McIntyre, thank you for the question, because I was curious as well, and he made a very good point. He was just like, my job is Zarya. I went Q build, demolition expert, and everything, and just kind of launched grenades consistently at the Sergeant Hammer. So it was nice to learn a little bit as well. But that is our first best of 5 of the day done. Simplicity drops into the lower bracket, and we'll be seeing Chili Mountain move on. We are going to get prepared, as you see the ticker at the bottom of the screen move over to Storm Esports versus 30K. The winner of this will go up against Chili Mountain tomorrow. The loser of this will go up against Simplicity tomorrow. So we've already got things set up. We got to figure out who's going to happen, or what's going to happen with that one. In that time, though, we're going to take a small little break. We're going to have a wonderful interview with Kyle Ferguson and Liam from 30K, so he'll be asking him about the matchup that's going to be coming up soon. In this break, I want you to do 2 quick things for me, Twitch chat. I want you to hit ! merch to check out the HeroesCCL merch. 60% of any of our proceeds will go into the prize pool. So buying a t-shirt not only gets you a sick new t-shirt, sweater, mug, or another t-shirt, because there's 2, but you also put money back into the prize pool as well. So you get cool clothing and you get prize pool money added in. The last thing I want you to do during this interview is hit ! PSD and check out the curated list of Wisdom underwear, or not Wisdom underwear, the Wisdom curated list you can check out. It's actually had some updated underwear, and you can use Wisdom, WISDOM, at checkout for 20% off of your order. But as I said, we got a wonderful interview with Cal Ferguson and Liam from 30K coming at you. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.